It's okay.
Time to say all the wrong things.
Yeah.
Yep, time to make a fool of myself.
In terms of like YouTube and stuff, it's not a problem saying like any type of cuss words that you want, and same with the game as well. I personally don't mind them. Does anybody have any sort of opinion on that?
It's fine. I'm not the kind of person that likes using strong language anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, sailors in the family and all that.
All right, so we're pretty much all in agreement that, cussing, I don't care. If you want to say fuck every other sentence, do so naturally, of course, but I don't really care.
Oh, I'm going to make things interesting with how I swear.
And just go aggressively British. Ayla?
I mean, I'm playing a griffin. What do you think?
All right, so I will go ahead and kind of just kick off this session 0. So congratulations to all of you who went ahead and made it in. Welcome to Batavia, a world combined. This world has been handcrafted, completely stone by stone for over the course of 4 long years. Now, in this game, there are the 13 gods, which I have provided some documentation over. However, the 13th god, of course, is unknown. It's one of what I call a great quest. In this game, there are many secret quests as well as secret objectives to be had. Perhaps one of you has accidentally discovered a secret quest when asking what are the possibilities of starting as X or Y. Hint, hint. So yeah. When you interact with this game, note that everything that I say is probably interwoven with another thing. This is a slow burn type campaign, which means that I will be telling you things up front, but you're not going to receive an answer until later. It'll be a slow burn in terms of trying to find the information to complete the said quest or some type of interest, or getting a finally resolved conflict. That being said, we are also going to be, eventually, part of Batavia itself, which Batavia is the city, which is ran by the Duke of Batavia, which is, well, my OC, Bartholomew. Inside there's the Deum Vini, which is also known as the Monster Portal. Inside the Monster Portal will be any adventure that you can possibly dream of. We may, at times, go on a pirate-themed campaign, airship campaign, Waterworld campaign, Mad Max-type campaign. Any reference or any universe we might have a chance of exploring regardless of the era. So, if, for example, we may be exploring some like Warhammer 40k type stuff, or something more medieval, like, I don't know, maybe our real-life crusades that have happened. Now,
I mean, that Warhammer also goes in that, sorry.
Yeah, no, don't worry about interrupting. It's totally okay. I'm going to be speaking a lot here. If you guys at all want to interrupt me to say something or ask questions or comments about anything, feel free. I mean, I'm just kind of rambling on and getting through some things, so no worries there. But yeah, with Batavia and the Deum Vini, our world is completely our oyster. If you guys are feeling like you want to play a certain type of genre or era or theme, we can go ahead and set that up with each other and actually play it out. And maybe even get some cool rewards, feats, or otherwise from it. Batavia is a cool place, and I can't wait for you guys to actually go inside the gates of Batavia. But for right now, they're closed and they're about to open. Now, as we begin, I just call myself Bat. Some people call me Batsy or Bartholomew. I don't really go by any other nickname, but I don't really care if you do give me a nickname at all. I'm a very laid back and relaxed type of guy. I do run with the cool rule mindset. And I also try to work some of this like cool rules into more mechanical flavors, as you'll see the more and more you dive into Batavia. For an example, is that in Batavia, with the Deum Vini, I have this new system called the Weave of Fate. Leadbed, I accidentally misspoke earlier. It's not 150, it's 100 rolls. But basically what you do is whenever you enter inside of a dungeon or reach a checkpoint in a campaign type DMVini, you will go ahead and roll the Weave of Fates. The Weave of Fates has a 1d100 unique effects. What I mean by that is actual unique effects that will actually affect your playstyle, that you will actually have mechanical, fun differences of how to play. If you look at the Wild Magic table of Sorcerer, it's one of the worst things that I've ever seen. It is full of so many boring things that just I don't care. Like, whoa, flowers grow when you walk. Boring. Completely boring. So, with the Weave of Fate, I went ahead and handcrafted completely new mechanics and custom effects for you to play with. Not all of these are boons, some are curses, but with my fundamental philosophy on the curses aspect is that I don't want to detriment your character. Curses aren't, like -5 AC. That sucks. That's boring. That hurts the player and the way that you want to play. Instead, curses may change some of the effects of what you do. I'm trying to keep vague here because I want you to explore the Weave of Fate system, but know that curses aren't really so much as completely bad, but more so just fundamental changes that aren't going to limit your possibility of what you play. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sorry to say this, but the music, the way that you spoke there, you presented that as if you were a Minecrafter presenting like their 100-player Minecraft social experiment. I'm so sorry. You have to say that. I'm so sorry.
It's brilliant.
Welcome to my parkour civilization, guys.
If you die once, that's it, just like in real life.
Yep. So, I guess to speak more about myself is that I've been DMing for quite a long time. But unfortunately not as long as Led. Led has definitely had me beat, especially on a consistency basis. I have DM'd...
Sorry.
Oh, you're okay. 3 campaigns and then like 10 one-shots. So I have some experience under my belt, and then I just also don't have that much experience. That being said, what I've stated inside of my post is that I am shooting big here. I am setting up your expectations to being the highest level of possibility that one can ever have in a D&D game. And I want you to hold me to that. And I want you to go ahead and believe that I am going to be providing this for you. It is what I'm absolutely achieving here, but, of course, understand that I am just a solo person that's been working on this game. I've had no help outside of just myself working on the story, mechanics, and otherwise. So, you're gonna get a AAA experience, but you're not gonna get a AAA experience.
Sounds like a double A. What you mean?
Understood, Mr. Matt Mercer.
Nah.
I mean, nothing against double A's. Robocop Rogue City is a fire video game.
It is, absolutely. Too bad the DLC is a little bit buggy. A little bit dropped the ball on that one, but that's okay. They did great on the base game. Really brought Judge Dredd to life.
Excuse me, what?
Robocop. Either way, I also wanted to talk about one quirk about me that is in a negative aspect, because I don't want to all be just positive here, because we're going to be playing this game for probably years on end, depending on how things go, of course. So, one of the biggest quirks that I have as a DM, which is a negative, is that I don't like repeating myself. It's uncontrollable for me, but if I have to repeatedly speak about the same topic, I just inherently get annoyed. There's no other thing that annoys me or frustrates me, it's just this. So I wanted to be honest with you guys and just kind of set up an expectation that I'm fine with reiterating myself like every now and then, but if it becomes a constant thing, I become annoyed.
That's fair enough, man. I'm kind of the same way. Plus side with me, I only need to understand something once, and I will remember it.
Okay.
Right. Sometimes, I'm a bit hard of hearing, so sometimes I'll ask you to repeat yourself just because I don't hear it all that well. But I'll try to pay attention, Once you just say something and I hear it, it's like, all right, got it. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is for mainly like story aspects where things are more of a serious tone. Don't feel like you have to be on edge 24/7 because that's not the type of experience I'm wanting to give you guys. It's gonna be a casual plus type experience. It's going to be friendly with each other, cracking some jokes, but then there will be some serious events that we go through where I do want some serious tonnage. Now, what I like from players is that I like it when people are improvisational. So if they have a scene around them, they interact with the scene, as well as being inquisitive about the scene. I love players who ask questions because that helps build out your character and what they like and find interest in, as well as building up my campaign, which, I'm a DM. I love this campaign. I should, after 4 years of developing this thing and spending a lot of money. But yeah, so I'm just looking for some inquisitive players. But with the inquisitive thing, I don't want you guys constantly questioning everything. I want you to question what you find interesting. For example, let's take solar eclipse. Let's say one day that she went ahead and started being a completely opposite mood, or maybe angry one day, right? Some of your characters may not care. It's not part of your life. It's not part of what you find interest in. It's not part of the gods that you find interesting in. And that's okay. If you don't want to question why and just kind of go along with whatever NPC has described the event, that's perfectly fine. But if you're a person that is into solar eclipse and want to know more about her and things along that nature, and you truly find investment and joy from asking these sorts of questions, ask about it because you may receive some really cool information. Does that make sense with the whole, don't need to ask questions about everything, just only what you find interesting?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of sidestep the introductions for myself, and we'll go ahead and start with Epsilon. Epsilon, could you go ahead and say who you are, what type of character that you're playing as, and the class?
Right. Well, to start off, my character, I'm going to be playing a Griffin Artificer. And, yes, Griffin Artificer from the Kingdom of Mineladil. So, generally, I like to kind of bounce between both in character and out of character, and I always like to try to play how my character likes to play and what they might enjoy, and of course try to also make it obvious if I'm making a bad decision, but realistically that's what my character might do in that moment. If they have low wisdom or low intelligence, that kind of good stuff. And yeah, I like to have fun and also enjoy kind of the serious elements of the game too. So as far as history about myself or D&D experience, I've been part of a long-running campaign for D&D and have also experimented a little bit with DMing myself, just a little bit. I still kind of consider myself a bit novice into the DM aspect of it, but I'd like to say that I'm relatively experienced for a player, and I'm always learning new things, so very excited to be part of this campaign.
Now, you live in the Commonwealth of Mineladil. Kingdom of Mineladil is where the king, who has unfortunately passed away during the War of the Crusades, or the War against the Giants. And for Artificer, what is your subclass that you plan on going as?
Yes. So for Artificer, I believe I'm going to be going the class of Armor, if that is correct. Yeah. And I'm going to, I think, plan on using a combination of guns and armor to kind of augment and tinker with, as I think that's going to be very important for my character and also for the Commonwealth as well. Really fitting into that.
Thank you very much. Do, could you please introduce yourself as well as a little bit about your character?
Hello. I will be playing Do this campaign in a Green Pegasus Storm Sorcerer from the Selunian Theocracy. I like to mess around on alternating between blaster caster, support, and general utility stuff. So expect a lot of that, a lot of spells flying out. As for my experience playing D&D and other tabletop RPGs, I've been playing for about 10 years now, played in several long-running campaigns and some short one-shots, and I look forward to playing with you all.
And from the Selunian Theocracy, actually, we'll go ahead and talk about that when we have our one-on-one. So after this, after session 0, once we come to the next set of week for the next session, we'll go ahead and have one-on-ones. But Leadbed, could you please introduce yourself and your character?
Well, I guess I'll go my character first. My character, Grendel, is a Graphonian Battlemaster Ficer from the, what was it?
Silene Empire?
From the Silene Empire. An ex-captain who has recently come out of retirement for reasons beyond his control. And right now is looking to make fat stacks. I'll just put it that way for now. I think we're gonna get along very much fine with Epsilon's character because I'm gonna be playing the tank, essentially. As for myself, the player, I've been a DM for 5+ years, but I don't have much player experience because apparently finding a good game for me is akin to finding a needle in a haystack inside of a warehouse full of haystacks. It's just not very easy. So I may slip up from time to time, but I am very much aware of how things operate behind the scenes, and if you have an issue, Bat, I'm willing to lend my experience more to help you.
Thank you.
But for the most part, I'm here to enjoy the ride just as much as you guys. I tend to be very open-minded, and I tend to follow a very logical route with the games until I'm able to learn more about what's going on and how things work.
Awesome. So we'll go ahead and start in the reverse order this time. We're starting with Led. And for you, Led, what are you most excited for being a part of this game? What do you want to do in this game?
Finally play a character whose story gets to be told to its conclusion. I've found that while I those other games that I mentioned where I try playing a character, I've always found the DM struggles or is unable to either continue the story, continue the campaign, or is unable to somehow incorporate my character's story into the story, and that can demotivate me. Yeah,
absolutely. Thankfully, for this game, I built with replayability in mind, especially with the damn Vinny, so hopefully nothing sort of writer's block will ever happen, but I have some things to help mitigate that, which we'll talk about later. In terms of your character being immersed in the story, as well as being actually integrated and concluded in the story, that is something we're absolutely going to explore in depth with all of your characters. And that's going to be a nice slow burn campaign where constantly throughout our levels together that we will be constantly interacting with your background. That's why I went ahead and over the course of this entire month have dedicated my time and resources into crafting out some of your guys' backgrounds. That way we can go ahead and get a good start together, get a good understanding of what we both want, as well as just trying to elevate your background into being a more integrated into the story and setting. Now, Epsilon, your turn. Could you please tell me, this isn't reverse order, I'm just looking at Discord. Could you please go ahead and tell me what you're particularly most excited about for this game?
Well, much like Led, I'm really looking forward to a campaign where we can explore our characters and their backstories, because usually either it doesn't really fit within the setting to explore that, or the DM's running like a short one-shot, and really backgrounds don't really play too much of a role in there. And I'm also looking forward to seeing how the world interacts. You've promised a whole lot to us, and I'm really excited to see that get delivered.
And I can't wait to show you. Epsilon, could you please describe what you're most excited about for the game?
Absolutely. I've always enjoyed, in a good story, being able to, learn something and discuss and talk about things that really talk about the human experience. And for me, I'm really excited about learning kind of all of the subplots, the themes, and getting into those kind of nitty-gritty details, having things that we as a campaign able to have an effect. Of course, our backstories just being one of them, in completing kind of our own ambitions, and also having effects on the story, and also, being able to say something about the human experience as well. How good or evil people can do either good or bad things, and those kind of motifs. And, I'm also just really excited because the immersion is something I really enjoy in a story. And so, when we're down in the ditches, I want to be able to almost taste the dirt in between my teeth, and how gritty it can get. But I'm just really excited for the levels of detail and the storytelling.
Well, you'll absolutely find a lot of detail and flavor in this game. I have gem-packed every single little thing full of every amount of love that I can possibly give to it. I love to use flavorful text, and anything that we do will be filled with some flavor. Now, our sessions will likely be 3.5 hours long. We're going to have dedicated break times of about 10-15 minutes at about 2:30. Is that okay with everybody? So that means during our session time is that we'll just go ahead and take a 10-15 minute break to do whatever we want, and then we'll come back and resume. This can be pushed forward or backward depending on, just where we are at in the session, and we'll kind of go from there. And just so you are all aware, I just went ahead and touched on this a little bit ago, but this game will likely last multiple years. There's a lot here to explore, and there's a lot for your characters to be invested in, as well as what's going to happen to your characters in order to be integrated in. Understand also is that I am starting this game as a very linear game. Unfortunately, at the beginning, especially with our duets, which is what I call the 5 steps back plan, things are going to be pretty hand-holdy, and they're going to be quick. So what I mean by that is that we'll have 2 hours of being together in order to duet your background, and then we're going to go ahead, and during this time is that this time frame can jump. So for example, an event might happen when you're 6 years old, but 5 minutes later, after discussing that event, now you're 10. Does that make sense? Understood?
Oh boy.
Oh, you're going through my deep, dark backstory? Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's not the backstory. That's the backer story.
Yeah.
The backer story. The even backer story.
Yep. And the 5 steps, I didn't really describe the 5 steps back plan, but basically what it is that before we even start Batavia, before you even arrive inside the gates of Batavia, is that I'm going to have 3 to 5 sessions with you, one-on-one, as a duet campaign in order to fully explore your background in as much detail as we can and as quick as we can. Now, things will probably feel a little bit rushed, and there will certainly be things that is unresolved. This is part of your background and what your characters are going to strive for eventually, once we can, get to it and conclude it. And like I said, it is pretty hand-holdy just because I need to guide you through some milestones in order to help set up your character. And during this time as well, for the beginning of our time together, is that I will be describing a little bit of how your character may react. But I won't be doing actions or choosing consequences for you. And what I mean by this is as an example like this. Say there's a burning pile of bodies in the middle of the village that are all on fire. I will describe to your character what they see in detail, and my philosophy of that is as it is, meaning every detail, and how your character would violently react towards that situation. This will help set up some of flavor for you to be able to roll with continuously. Then hopefully by when we're in Batavia itself, when we're all actually back as a group, we can take that little bit of flavor and character building, and then you guys can do it on your own together. Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah, makes sense.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm all good with that.
Okay. And so as the campaign evolves, especially at level 3, the world starts opening up more and more in terms of linearity. So levels 1 and 2 is going to be pretty linear inside the Damvini, and the Damvini is only going to offer what is, quote, a dungeon run. Basically, short little adventures for you to go on and to complete to get some basic gear, level up, and so on. Then level 3, Damvinis are going to introduce a new mechanic called campaigns, where we will go inside the Damvini and explore a campaign type of setting. So say, for example, there was an assassination on the king. Well, this would be a campaign because it would be a longer played out scenario. These campaigns are overall shorter in nature, but they have substantially more to them. And during these campaigns, choices of how you want to go about things will be, it'll open up quite a lot on how you want to tackle a particular issue. Just note that during these campaigns inside the Damvini, do try to keep on track, Like, say if we go to a kingdom that their iron mine is burning down and stuff like that, I don't want you guys to start up an iron business inside the Damvini, and congrats, that's now our entire campaign is starting up an iron mine inside the Damvini, and we're just doing that. I do want you to focus on more of the side quests and the actual main objective rather than completely free world building. That being said, Batavia is a different story. Out in the real world, outside the Damvini, you can very much set up your own shop. You can do what you would like. At level 5, we will be able to start going where we like, and at level 7, you graduate from Batavia's school, where you then will be pitted against the world itself. I went through that rather quickly. Does anybody have any questions or want me to rehash anything?
No, I heard the breakdown.
Okay.
Sounds like fun. I get to manipulate the market.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
We're playing the stocks here, baby.
Besides, I'm fairly certain that if we ever do something like, I don't know, start up an iron mine, I'm fairly certain you'll pull something on us. That's just what DMs do.
Congrats,
That's
it's
what DMs
infested
do.
with kobolds now. They're trying to blow up the mine to strip it clean of resources rather quickly.
I was thinking more you take John Carpenter's The Thing approach.
Eh?
You mean they're bringing us free explosives? Awesome.
We're blast mining, boys. Alright, so if someone is late to the game or does a no-show, I'm going to continue without them. More than likely, we will, for the remaining players that are part of the session, do a duet. So we'll kind of go back through your background, or maybe when you're part of school, go through some of the schoolwork. Or the two players will do a smaller type dungeon run. This is also regardless of whatever we're doing. For example, for Inside the Day in Vinny, as a campaign in the middle of something, player doesn't show up, I'm just going to take the two remaining players and place them into a new dungeon. That way we can play and, do other things to be respectful towards their time. Think of it kind of like a flashback sequence, just giving some loreful or tasteful approach to how I'm gonna just pick you up all of a sudden, place you somewhere else. But yeah. Now, running every single other week can be pretty exhausting for a DM. I'm gonna be incorporating a 3-month break rule, where after 3 months of playing, which is 6 sessions, we will take a normal play session instead of a break. For example, the very first one, which is just kind of due to our time rather than anything else. Let's see. So the 31st. The weekend of the 31st, we won't be playing Batavia because Epsilon and I will be getting ready to move, and we'll be packing up a bunch of stuff. So we won't be playing on the 31st. Now, continuing back on the 3-month break rule is that when these sessions do arrive where after 3 months of playing, we take one of the weeks off, we can get together and watch something or play something together or just do our own thing. And if anybody does show up, we can also reflect on the previous 3 months and kind of talk with each other about where we want to take our characters next, what we did and didn't like, and what our interests have changed into. Any questions about this? Kind of a lot.
That is quite a bit to throw at us. I suppose so long as you keep clear as to when the breaks happen, like on a per, I guess per session basis, it'd be nice because, you can throw dates at me, but again, my short-term memory is not that good.
Right, just give us a heads up when, stuff like this will happen, and I'll let you know, if stuff happens on my end.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, same with us. If we're going to be having issues, or if I'm going to be having issues at least, I will let you know in advance before session.
Yeah, and I will definitely keep track of the 3-month break rule, and we'll be posting it well in advance before the date does arrive. There will also be times where we just don't do a 3-month break rule, and that's if everybody's, kind of still fresh in spirits. But yeah, I'll be sure to keep you guys updated for it. Now, some general guidelines for being inside the session is that please don't be intoxicated in any form, whether drugs or alcohol. I'd like you to be attentive with your character and respectful towards other characters. I don't mind if you guys drink or something like that during the session. It's just, don't be intoxicated of any form.
As someone with a German friend, I understand your pain wholeheartedly.
I've had some bad scenarios of people being completely wasted and doing some terrible things that break up people, so that's kind of why I'm putting this out there.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I get it. If you would have wanted to play a video game mid-session, I get it, but, let your DM know and at least try to be attentive, or just, better yet, don't do it.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a little disrespectful.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm here to play the session, and I hardly ever drink or anything, so you don't have to worry about that.
I don't drink at all. I don't abuse substances, so yay for me. And by extension,
All good there.
All right, so most of the time, it's totally okay having any sort of tabletop that we would like to have, whether it's about life, something completely off topic, and so on. Even if it derails what we're originally planning, there are times, however, where this wouldn't be so appropriate. It's hard to exactly categorize of when this wouldn't be appropriate, but as a general ruling, during serious or revelation type scenes is when we should focus. There will likely be a time where I'll say serious time or something of the sort. Know that if you do make a quip and it is during a serious time, I'm not bothered if I do curtail that comment. And for note taking, I would like for people to keep track of some notes for things that you find interesting. You don't, absolutely, I'm not asking for you to keep track of everything, but for things that you find interesting, if you write them down, it'll help me in the future in order to create plot points and more plot points or routes to that problem or some scenario. Now, it also kind of helps me capture your immersion and interest by you writing down stuff. So every now and then I will go ahead and take a look at your journals, see what you have written down, and seeing what you have found interesting in order to build off of that. And for another tabletop rule, for metagaming, I highly discourage this. If your character doesn't know about X, then they shouldn't react/act upon Y. That being said, another form of metagaming is knowing this creature's stat block. I highly discourage you looking it up, as I likely have altered the block, which would only lead to you being frustrated why the enemy acts or functions the way they do than you originally thought they would. But with that being said, basic inferences on creatures of the sort are fine. The red dragon likely breathes fire. The troll has regenerative properties, so I should use fire. Ghosts are impossible to hit unless you have magical weapons, and so on. All of this type of metagaming is totally fine by me. Any questions? Okay.
No, I completely understand.
So player versus player is also highly discouraged. Please work together. Now, Do and Otto's character, which is Epsilon and Do, have strong lore reasons why they would dislike each other. Otto, or Menelidil, would have great horrific disdain for Do and his backstory. Some words or quips directed at the philosophy or nation behind it is fine. However, direct name-calling each other's character in a disrespectful or being mean way is unacceptable. I want you guys to work together.
We want frenemies, not actual enemies.
It's the dwarves and the elves working together in Lord of the Rings, guys. We'll be okay.
Yeah.
But I will still call you a knife here, all right? If that's the case.
Man, I can't believe you use those loud guns. Ugh. You should just use magic, man.
My friend, I can think of some horrible, horrible names for Griffin on Pegasi slurs. Don't tempt me.
And yeah, so things like knife ears or equip like the firearms, totally fine. I expect some a little bit of cheeky banter, but I just don't want, actual hurt being tossed around. Now on to some rules, right? We love rules lawyers, right? Everyone does, absolutely. So, I run with the rule of cool. And if a ruling is disagreed upon, make a note of it, please, in my DMs. After the session, we can hash things out. Please note that if I disagree with your take on the ruling, to not be defensive or heated about it. I typically stick by the rules, but I also allow the freedom of expression in terms of kind of cheesing your way through the rules or bending them to what you would like. Please don't be a rules lawyer, but also don't be completely carefree and just trying to do stuff that is impossible mechanically in the game. But feel free to ask me if you can do it, because I reward heavily on creative thinking or creative action. So for example, throwing a firebolt at a chandelier chain is totally okay. You throw the firebolt at the chandelier chain, it takes some damage, it snaps and falls onto the enemy. That is beautiful. Now, let's see. So, multi-classing. I would strongly prefer if you would guys not do multi-classing in this campaign, as this campaign is going to be very heavy narrative focus. If If you're wanting something from another class, I may offer it to you so lawfully, but sometimes I will also say no. An example is like being a Echo fighter, an Echo Knight, and wanting to learn a Battle Master maneuver. I may lawfully place a path where you can learn some Battle Master maneuvers and gain that skill, instead of, either multi-classing or anything else in that nature, or wanting to just completely respec your character. This also helps me in terms of when we reach level 5, which is having school, where as part of school, I will be fully detailing your characters in Absolution. So anything that you have proficiency in or you have interest in as a character, we're going to explore that in incredible amount of detail. An example being is a ranger's bow. I'm going to teach that ranger on how to fletch his arrows, and he and I are going to get together and learn how to fletch arrows in real life. Not saying that we do it in real life, but just understand the methodology, and we'll just take a look at some notes. That's kind of how classes work. But also with making bows and the like. Another thing is just learning some tool proficiencies, or as well as just feats. Because as part of these class systems, you may be rewarded with feats. And that leads me to the next question. Not question, but kind of statement, is that, sorry, but when leveling up and you hit level 4 and have an ability score improvement or feat, sorry, but you cannot choose a feat. Instead, you get both. That's right, fellas. I'm going to go ahead and give you both. You can have a feat and ability scores, because that's fun. I don't like it when I get cucked on the ability score aspect and completely ruin something, because congratulations, my spell save DC is 14 and I can never improve it because I wanted something from the Eldritch spell list. But these feats may become available to you through lawful reasons. For example, let's go ahead and take the Sentinel feat. I'm not going to let you have the Sentinel feat when we reach level 4. Instead, a new quest will pop up if you want the Sentinel feat that will be a trainer for the Sentinel and how to be such. An example for the Sentinel is being a watchman of the wall for Batavia. A quest like that may pop up, you partake in it, you learn their trade, and then you get the feat that you wanted. It'll be fairly quick quests in order to receive the reward, so it'll likely still be within the level 4 or so on, level 8, 12. But yeah, now, there is a stipulation with feats. If the feat goes ahead and offers an ability score improvement, you do not get it. Sorry. But in order to help keep some balance to this, you're just taking ability score improvement and a feat without the ability score improvement of the feat. Does that all make sense? Any questions?
What if the feat relies on the ability score that you improve through the feat? Like, say, I forget this specific one, but it's like your charisma. If you choose charisma instead of like wisdom or whatever, you get like advantage or whatever on
so in those saves. Because I do know what you're talking about. You can just choose what ability score that it has listed. For example, it'll say like choose Dex, Wiz, or Intelligence. I'm going to let you choose one of those, but you don't get the improvement aspect for it, but the feat revolves around that aspect. Does that make sense?
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. Any other questions or concerns about this? It's a pretty cool thing, right? Right, guys?
Yes.
So basically, during the ability skill improvements, you're offering us a quest that we can also run a feat should we pursue that.
Correct. And these feats will be a duet type campaign. Sometimes they'll be integrated into the main story just because of happenstance, but yes, generally yes.
Awesome. Nifty. Wizards are going to be eating good.
I'm concerned for in case, like, someone wants to get a feat, and it's like at an odd point in the campaign where it's not as easy to insert that into the story. Or say the players or the DM just want to get along with things and they don't want to go on another side tangent.
So in that sort of scenario, luckily we have the Dame Vinny to explore, but sometimes the Dame Vinny won't be available. I do understand this. Some of these things may not be so appropriate for the region that you're currently in, and in scenarios like that, we may go ahead and do a quote-unquote flashback sequence. So for example, if you were the survivor of an attack against your town, and your town was burned down to the ground, you may have a flashback sequence to this point in order to gain the feat alert. This is to help lorefully explore that aspect. But in terms of just getting along with things, unfortunately, I would like to provide the feat aspect in a more loreful manner.
Good answer. Flashbacks.
Well, it's a lot better than just saying you magically earn the feat from thin air. So
I know, right?
I'm happy with
Right.
that.
Like, oh, I got heavy armor training. How? I don't know. I just picked it up.
You know what I was gonna go for.
You know those goblins? They just sort of, they just taught me, I guess. I just killed them and then they gave it to me.
Yeah, but yeah, so you get both. Now, min-maxing. A lot of people like min-maxing. I don't care if you do min-max, but do be mindful that your scaling as a player will imbalance the other party members. If I have to pit something to your level, it will drag down the other two. With that being said, all playstyles will be overpowered in mid to late game. So don't feel pressured to having to be the best, as it will just take down the rest. Any questions about that one?
Nope, I understand completely.
Alrighty. Now, we're gonna be spending a lot of time together, and there may be a time where things go south completely. I'm a fan of driving the story in the direction that we all want. So let's say you are in an arena and you foolishly cast Eldritch Blast directly onto the head honcho, and the head honcho proceeds to TPK all of you. I would get with you guys and ask if you want to retcon this, as a foolish action sent the entire campaign off the cliff and disrupted everyone else's funds. Mistakes like these can happen. I'll only retcon true fuck up moments. Or if you guys, all of you in agreement, ask me and explain thoroughly as why there should be a retcon. Now, there may be scenarios where you do, in fact, get TPK'd, and then something happens from it. Now, because I'm going to say when, not an if, when I do kill you, and kill all of you, I'm going to basically approach it like this. I'm not going to take away your stuff. I'm not going to give you a permanent debilitating injury or anything like that. You may receive a temporary injury or temporarily loss of stuff, but I don't want to fuck your character. It's completely disgustingly rude when DMs do this to permanently damage a player, and it completely takes the player out of sequence. So for example, let's use the same scenario about the arena. You've launched a Eldritch Blast at the head honcho did TPKs you. And if you don't want to retcon this moment, instead I could go ahead and have you guys basically be prisoners. You'll wake up without your stuff, and your job is now to sneak out. And of course, collect your stuff. Any questions or concerns about this? It's kind of a big one.
I like to roll with the punches, so
Yeah, no, if my character dies, they die.
I think that having stuff like that could be a good organic way to continue the story while still recognizing that, yeah, you did something really dumb, you got punished for it, but it's not the end of the world, you still have the ability to bounce back, albeit with some severe complications, and a pretty mighty slap on the wrist.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, and just know that retcons, they will happen in this game, I'm sure. Something will happen eventually. Like say if you accidentally kill a sheriff on the outside of town and then the party suddenly just doesn't trust you anymore, it would be good to retcon that, because in lore, they would just not trust you. But yeah. Now, if attitudes get to be high-tempered in session, I'm just going to immediately call for a break to happen. After the 10 or 15 minutes transpire, we'll come back together and forgive each other. Everyone here is excited for the game. Let's not throw something great away because there was an impulsive action. I understand that tempers will probably flare at some point or another, unintentionally, somewhere along our years of game. And we need to understand each other, and at the beginning, that we just want to be here to play a game and that we need to move past it. Are we in agreement, everybody?
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Now, I would like to ask you something. I spoke a little bit earlier about the very linear nature at the beginning and then kind of a sandbox campaign later on in the game. But I want to hear from you personally. Do you prefer a very linear game or a non-linear type of structure? What I mean by very linear is that you're basically guided quest to quest, and then how you proceed from that interaction is however you want to do it. Versus a very non-linear structure is more of a open sandbox type of experience where you're just plopped somewhere and then you go and do your own thing. I want to hear from each of you on what you personally like and what you want out of this game. We'll start with Du. Could you please tell me your thoughts and experience on this?
Well, I sort of like a mix of both, like having a clear objective, being like, oh, we got this big main quest to do, and maybe how we get there, how we go about it, that's our choice. But also having moments where there's downtime, or where we can do like other stuff, other side quests, maybe do what we want, explore towns, NPCs, stuff of that nature.
Okay. Epsilon?
Yeah, I would agree with kind of Du is that I like a mix of both. Having kind of a clear objective, but also having the freedom to choose how we go about that. Like an example is like, I don't know, something happens in Lego City, the mayor's been kidnapped. And now you have to go save him. Well, there's a clear objective, but how you go about that, there's plenty of ways to go about that. And, providing perhaps a true sandbox experience at the beginning might be a little bit difficult for us to kind of grapple with all the lore and other happenings, perhaps. But definitely having kind of that freedom to maneuver around instead of just being railroaded. Although at times it is appropriate and it does work well. So again, I'm very much for someone who can flow between either or, but having a clear objective does help tremendously.
Agreed. And I like what you spoke about there is that being plopped into a sandbox type of scenario right at the beginning before you even know what's your left and right is very much what I'm trying to prevent here with Batavia and how I've kind of structured things. There, as you might have already expected, is too much in Batavia. There's too much. If I threw everything at you right now, there's too much. You would be completely lost and kind of having a mind blank type of moment. The reason why I stated that I'm doing a very linear start and then opening up slowly is because I'm going to be introducing new mechanics to you over time. New rules, new scenarios, new campaign types, new functions in your everyday moment in life. And I want to ease you into this because there's a lot of lore in the entirety of Batavia. And I just kind of want to provide this experience where you're not overwhelmed. And that's also why this is also a slow burn campaign, is because, well, one, it's long, and two, it helps me in order to help you. Now, Led.
Right. I agree with Du. I prefer something a bit mixed where, like, we have okay. As someone who has DM'd for both styles of campaign now, I see the merits in both and the stresses that can be placed upon the DM from both. But also the having freedom as a player is nice and all, but if the player doesn't know what they're doing, you get the Skyrim phenomenon where it's not really clear what advances are made objective. So, I believe that I would agree with the Du here, where we have a main quest, but we have opportunities to go into side stories and side tangents and other stuff to experience some other stuff, maybe character quest, maybe some NPC who has something tied to the main quest that might help us later down the road, maybe providing us with an advantage we might not immediately see, things like that. Opportunities.
Yeah, and it seems I've chosen my players well, as you all seem to have the same philosophy around this aspect and experience to go along with it. I will certainly adjust my campaign in order to match it, but it also matches my own philosophy as well. I too agree with Du as well. I do prefer a mix of both. I want a clear objective, and I do want the side content as well, and time to be able to breathe during these tense and tight moments.
Why does this suddenly feel like a cold?
Kalima.
Yes, I agree with this thing too. We all agree with this thing in this monotone voice.
Now, let me also describe a little bit about the world of Batavia. The level of the world is high. There's deadly creatures that are commonplace. There's adventuring groups who've already graduated that are level 13. Technology is everywhere. There's high science. Firearms are just exiting the black powder era and beyond. There's really no set era, which is why I'm labeling this as a high fantasy game. It's not typically a 1 or 2 type of science levels, it's kind of a mix of every science level. Now, in this game, the average part of the world you can basically think of as a level 5 type experience. So think of like level 5 type of creatures that would be pitted against level 5s. The world is deadly to the average person. It's one of the many reasons why Batavia is so sought after. It's one of the many reasons why there hasn't been that much in the way of wars. It's also why there's also dead zones, which are the white-colored borders in the readability variant of the world map. This world is still new. This world is still expanding. It is not even 1,000 years old just quite yet. And there is life teeming with deadly fangs at every corner. And you in Batavia, once you graduate at level 7, will be able to experience it on your own. There are apex creatures. In Hive of Change, it's completely fucked over there because there's gigantic titan and colossal monsters like the Serpent's River, which is an entire river stretching for, let's see how many miles. Let me go ahead and mark this out. 400 miles of nothing but dead carcass filled with blood bugs and the like, that is inside of its carcass as it is rotting. So, this world isn't exactly great. It's doing what it can, and you are going to carve out that difference and little piece of the world that you explore. Now, let me get into some character things. With leveling, you can take average hit dice or choose to roll. If you choose to roll, you can re-roll ones infinitely. I don't want you to go ahead and just have 1 HP. On your level up. So if you do a roll of 1, re-roll it for your hit die. Encumbrance is a rule loosely followed. Sheets will be set up using the much more lax rule for carrying capacity. If I give you a custom magic item or a custom item in general and forget to have weight, then congratulations, that item is weightless. I'm glad you're carrying 3 tables that are weighing absolutely nothing. That being said, I'm also not too strict about encumbrance either. It's just a thing there in order to help inside the Dame Vinny where you're not looting everything, to be honest.
I was actually going to ask, when do we get to the character sheet creation?
It will be soon, very soon. I just have a few more things to discuss.
All right.
I'm glad you didn't tell me the weight of this canoe. I can just carry it around for free now.
Yep. Now, every single session, you get 1 free inspiration point. These do not stack, so try to use them within the session. I also love referencing media and culture itself. When I make a reference, feel free to point it out. When you point it out, you gain a stacking inspiration point. You may stack these reference inspiration points however much you want and use however many you want. However, if I'm in a dialogue / monologue / serious tone, please just put it in chat so we can keep the tone and flow going. Getting the reference grants you a token of inspiration. They stack but are also one-time use. When you do get the reference, I will give you a token. Please mark it down in your journal that you understood the reference to X sentence so we can look back upon it later. Now, to give you a little bit of a hint, unfortunately, since Epsilon rides with me in my car from time to time, since we do live together, he's listened to a lot of what I listen to, which is namely music. So he's going to get a lot more references than the average person. But I'm going to provide the same resource that I listen to if you ever want to listen to anything that yourself in order to understand references. Now, of course, not every song here you need to listen to. Please don't. This is just a reference point, and if you ever want to take a listen to what I listen to. But yeah, does that make sense for everybody?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna stack those points sky high.
Yeah, if you listen to my mixtape and understand any of the references for the songs, you get an inspiration point. But generally, the references are much more open. You'll know it when you hear it, trust me.
So for clarity, how do you run inspiration? Is it like a reroll, advantage? How do you roll it?
I go ahead and do it rules as written, which is a complete reroll of whatever roll that you do. Now we'll get on to the final topic before we actually move on to the game itself. Now, as players, you have a lot of narrative and mechanical control. Take, for example, a sorcerer. Throwing a firebolt at a chain will cause it to fall. That also being said, you have light DM ability as well, if that makes sense. Kind of a lot to unpack here in terms of what I mean, but note that if you want to do something creative, you have narrative and mechanical control to be able to do it. There may be times where I say no, but you generally do have the freedom. I reward, again, creative action. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and finally invite you guys to my game. Thanks for listening to me, everybody. I just wanted to make sure that everybody was listening rather than flicking through absolutely everything. So, it's been a long time since I went ahead and used Foundry and have invited people to Foundry, but please, if someone could share their screen so we can all kind of follow along, let me go ahead and paste this to each of you. Actually, I'll put it in our chat and then I will speak to each of us. So that right there is the web page. Let me know if that loads for you and then we'll kind of continue on.
Let's see.
It's been a while since I did this, so pardon any hiccups.
Yeah. Private game, I need to log in. Oh boy, here we go. I need to very quickly create an account.
Yeah, likewise. I have never used Foundry before, so bear with me.
All right, I wasn't invited to this game. I'll see you guys later.
Okay, nutcase.
And then I'm
Doosty.
I'm also going to give you your private passwords on how you log in.
So,
As your character.
confirm that you're a human before proceeding. Okay, where do I do that? Oh. Select the lowest rolled dice. Well, fair enough.
Alright, I provided your character names and then passwords. This is for once you actually log in and go into Batavia. That's kind of different. I don't remember that you guys had to log in before. At least I don't remember so. Huh.
This is a private game. You are not invited. You are not invited to it. Okay. Okay, and you said
Let me in. Let me in.
Let me in. Okay.
Yeah, very strange because we have the join link. It's not happy about us.
Okay. There may be a thing that I have to do. Let me... Hey, like I said, sorry, it's been an incredibly long time. That's how you do it. Okay, you guys don't need to create an account. Sorry, guys.
Oh, well, okay.
Sorry.
I mean, I already had one, so.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember you guys having to log in. Like, it used to be just plug and play. So give me a moment while I get to the screen.
Technical difficulties.
There we go. Okay. So I guess go ahead and save that link that I sent in chat as a bookmark. And here's the invitation to the game that you're supposed to click on. My bad. Now it should work, and it shouldn't prompt you to log in. Sorry about that. The only thing that you'll have to log in is your character sheets. They are passworded to each of you, who have all unique passwords.
Off for a great start already.
Thank you for pinning it.
Now let's see.
And Duke, could you share your screen again? I don't know how it looks like when a player first launches the game.
Sure. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, I just didn't want to share the password you sent.
No problem. And
You want me to go back through, like, joining in, or?
Nah. So, this is selecting your computer's quality level. If you have a bad internet or a bad CPU, you know, choose cheap potato. But if you have creme de la creme type of materials, choose premium. And all this does is like enable anti-aliasing and some scaling type stuff, you know, and this can be changed later, I do believe. So, is everybody in, by the way?
I'm in. I just need to...
I believe I'm in.
So the simple calendar is something that I don't think are actually going to use ever, so feel free to close it. And for anything that says module activated, just click don't show again. That way you don't see it again.
Okay, save player configuration. Okay.
Now, it's going to ask you your user configuration. You can choose your little player color, which is down at the bottom left. If you look, this will affect like your ping color, some very minor stuff. So choose whatever color that you would like, and then go from there. There's also make sure for your player character that you select your character, and that's kind of all that you need to fill out. You do not need to fill out a player avatar, as I've already kind of set that up for you internally.
What in the...
What's that?
I'm looking for my... Okay, actors. There it is, okay. Oh my god, oh... I feel like an old man trying to navigate an iPhone.
Alright. So, you guys see the world of Batavia, right?
Yeah.
Alright, there's a lot here, isn't there? That's what I was needing.
I used Roll20. What is all this?
All right.
Wow.
Now, I'm going
How
to...
big is a square on this?
So, oh, you accidentally refreshed the page. Try not to do that because it takes a little bit to get back in. Now, if everybody could look at Dew's screen here, we'll go ahead and go over some very basics so everybody can learn it all at once. And then you can go ahead and test it out on your own. So, at the top left, there's a little toolbar that has a person which you're currently on. This is your token controls. You see the little measuring stick? Go ahead and zoom in, and then it's a big map, you'll have to zoom in. You see how when he's dragging, it'll tell him how many miles is each hex? So it's a big world. It's very big.
This is a huge mountain range.
Yes, it is. It is phenomenally big. It is one of the biggest. Now, if you go back to your selection control, which is the little square box, it's your select tokens, click on the little book icon in the Heaven Glacial region. This will open up your journal, hopefully. Double click. There you go.
Yep, double click.
And that will go ahead and open up a journal about that specific location. So let's go somewhere a little bit more interesting, such as you want to go to the Selunian Theocracy. So go to the capital of the Selunian Theocracy if you know what it is.
I think it's somewhere around here. There it is, Duskcross.
Yep, Duskcross. So you will be able to go around the world and look at journals for the locations, as well as some secret things that will pop up every now and then, as well as your own character-specific stuff. Now, unfortunately, I'm kind of showing Dew's location here because, he just happens to be screen sharing, is that go to Nightmare Moon's part of the world. I know you don't really know where that's at, but it's off left next to the Heaven mountain range. And this is
here?
Yes, this is where Nightmare Moon's Moonvale University of Magic and Mysticism is. So
very fancy.
Each one of you has a specific location of where your home is, and this happens to be where Dew's is. They are hidden from each other, so you cannot see each other's. But if the character inside the game does tell you and tells you where, I will reveal it to you. But for now, it's just the capitals of the world that have an actual little lore book for them. As you go ahead and explore the world or hear rumors about the world, journals will be filled about the region. For example, the Serpent's River, which Dew just happens to be glancing around, is where the Great Serpent fell. And this is the 400-mile-long serpent that is now a blood bug-infested carcass.
Man, Rarity should have given that sea servant something a bit more than just his mustache back. Hot damn.
Now, once we get into Batavia itself, this whole navigation system is going to become a lot more complicated, but it's going to be really cool once we do get there. For now...
Is this the Mortal Kombat arena? Sorry, I had to butt in.
I refuse to speak until you arrive.
Very well.
But yeah, go ahead and just explore the map whenever you want and just take a look. Because at the top of the bar there, if you look at the very top of your screen, you see Equus. And then you can also go to Equus Borders, which I also call the readability variant. Oh, I need to give you visibility? Let me change that.
Void.
Let me
blocked.
change that for you guys. It shouldn't have vision. There you go.
Ooh.
The political map.
Yeah, exactly. This is the readability variant for the borders of the world. You can see where each nation has control over, as well as a bit of flood region or marsh type regions. If you look at Andrahanat, for example, which is the Commonwealth of Menelidil, you can kind of see what the river structures look at versus if you go to Ambaraha, I forget its name off the top of my head, which is a hive of change, Anbaharub. You can see that there's kind of a marshy plains type thing, which is what that symbolizes. Kind of a floodplain, if you will. But yeah. This is the readability variant. It's not actually accurate too much anymore because there's been a lot more added in my detailed version. But, you know, it's good for borders, which is what it's for. You can also see where some impassable glaciers are, which are kind of like these white blocky areas. They're not exactly impassable, it's just very much impassable.
You could get through them theoretically.
Yeah, theoretically.
So you're telling me.
That's going to take a lot of uses of mold earth.
So you're telling me there's a chance. Yeah, but it's along the same lines as theoretically a Tiger tank could beat him on Abrams, but it's very unlikely. There's a chance. Just shut up.
So, this little top bar at the top of the screen with the red skull and blue cyan type heart is your damage and health. So, for example, if you have a token, you can type in a number and decrease your health or kill your character outright. Now, I don't use this, but you can. What I typically do is just drag it behind the chat bar on the right so it goes away. But if you want it, it's there.
Yes, me accidentally presses the kill character button. My character. Yes.
The DM, I died.
So, well,
I die.
I guess I'll go ahead and kind of describe this now. But the bottom left, you see 1, 2, 3, shift 1, 2, 3, etc. This is your hotbar, so if you have a great sword attack or a spell attack, you can drag and drop it into the little box down there to automatically use it like a hotbar ability in a MMORPG. That way you don't have to go into your character sheet every single time when you want to roll something. They also set up macros that you can do for doing really anything that you want. These are a highly effective macro type bar area, and I do recommend using it for common type uses, like attacking with the greatsword, for example. And so we'll find...
You could also probably drag stuff into these hot bars.
Correct.
I should add.
Yep, you can drag and drop in.
Like, say if you have like attack with greatsword, just plop it on one and be like, "Hey, I do my attack."
And you can also create more bars, which are the one symbol to the right of the bars. You can create more, so it's the next hotbar page.
We get 5 hot bars, boys. Don't fill them all up.
All right, so the next thing on the right, I'm going to kind of do something a little bit like this. And I'm going to see if this actually works this time. Because not all the time does it. I should have had this up earlier.
But looking at the sheet right now and thinking to myself, how am I going to fill this up? Like, okay, actions, tells, inventory, features.
So by the way, that little token that Bat was talking about with the accidentally killing your character, if you look towards the left-hand side with the medical bag, if you click that, that'll make it disappear.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. I figured I was hovering over it, and I'm like, oh, that's, perfect solution.
I wonder if that
Just like real life when you take your medication.
Can you guys
Take your meds.
Can you guys to
I'm sorry, that was a dark joke.
Can you guys go to the chat?
Yeah, it was.
I'm curious if this works.
Suddenly,
sometimes
the
works.
option disappears from the back of it. Disappears.
Hey, dude, could you go to the chat window? Okay, that didn't work. Great. Polyglot sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. But basically, what it will do is type your text in other languages like that. So, for example, if your character knows that language, you would be able to read what it actually says. But if you don't know the language, I get to hide it from you.
Yeah, we get moon runes.
Yeah, a bunch of moon runes.
Or wingdings.
Yeah.
Yet Darker starts playing.
So, we'll go ahead and move on to the next tab, which is at the top right after chat. This is your combat encounter. I use a better system, which you will eventually see once we do get into a combat encounter, is that it's called Combat Carousel. It's a lot easier than this, so you don't really need to open up the combat area over here, but you can if you want. The next is, for you guys, is tokens. So if you go to the next thing, you will have access to tokens. So you can go ahead and drag and drop your character anywhere that you want in order to place your token there.
Yeah, I figured that one out pretty quickly.
Yep, just like Roll20. Now, let's get on to the more exciting part, which is what you guys have been wanting at the beginning. How do you create your character? Could you open up your sheet?
It has been
Guys?
an hour and 17 minutes, and we're finally now getting to sheep building.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my sheet.
I'm gonna show you the quick and absolutely sexy way of doing it. So, if you guys could take a look at the screen that has, I want you at the top right to click the three little bars next to the X. And you're gonna click Plutonium Import. It's at the top, Plutonium Import.
I was expecting it at the bottom.
Now it's gonna open up some scary stuff. You choose your categories such as actions, backgrounds, character creation options, classes, subclasses, etc., etc., etc. Now, currently, we're going to go ahead and open up, I believe it's character creation option, or is there races? Subclass, race, no. Species and subspecies, that's what it's called now. It's not called races anymore. Can you click on species and subspecies? Now, you only need to check mark one thing, so go ahead and unselect 5e tools. Is everybody on the same page, by the way? Is everybody watching?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
At the top, where it says find source, we're gonna import my diverse equestrian races. So type in diverse, and you'll see Mr. Bat's diverse equestrian races. At the bottom right, click open importer, and we're gonna go through a little bit of steps. Select the race that you wanna be.
Oh my goodness, man.
And you can click plus at any time in order to open up what they say. So go ahead and click plus on whatever you want. And there you go. You get to see what it's about, and it's all detailed out. You're welcome, by the way. It's super easy to be able to import all of this. Now, if Pegasus is the race that you're going with, go ahead and select the little, the button there, and then at the bottom it says import. It's gonna go ahead and import, cache results, and it's already done. So go ahead and close and exit. And now look at that. On the right, you're now Pegasus. Now let's go over your character sheet. Let's see what it's actually imported. On the right, go ahead and there's the right little toolbars. Go to your feat section. I don't think it's actually called feats. I think it's called like abilities or something. Features, that's it. Hey, everything is there. Wow, isn't that crazy cool? So, yeah. Oh, now the one thing that you kind of have to do is things like cutie marks, where you have multiple proficiencies to choose from. You'll have to go ahead and kind of do that on your own to manually fill what proficiency you want from the cutie mark, as well as your destiny path. Destiny paths, for those who haven't played with diverse equestrian races, are a set of basically specialized feats for that race, offering a lot of replayability.
Basically sub-race with the serial numbers filed off.
Exactly. And so you get to be able to choose one of typically 2 or 3 type of effects. So for example, Pegasus is downdraft and dash dancing. You're also able to make the screen bigger if it's, a little too small for you.
Hey, quick question.
Yeah.
So I did the thing, I selected Griffin. Now, it's not adding anything to my ability scores when I selected it,
Correct.
Even though, one of the things that it promised, one of the, Worry of the World, where you get +2 wisdom instead of +2 strength.
Yep, like I said, with the proficiency things, is that numbers and stuff like that you'll have to import on your own. It just imports basically all of it as text.
Right, okay.
If you are a changeling, be sure to choose your live by the shell type ability as well. But yeah, this is kind of the main screen, and I will go ahead and kind of talk about this as well. If you want any type of custom image for your weapon or character or what have you, ask me, because I have to physically do that back end type of work. But for now, if we take a look at the screen again, I want you to go ahead and go to the top right. I'm busy! Busy!
Hello?
Sorry, someone came into my room. Could you go ahead and click on Plutonium Imports again, and we'll go ahead and show you how to do your class. This is really, really nice way to import your class, because this actually implements anything that you choose, such as equipment. It goes ahead and gives you every single bit of equipment, as well as the gold weight and everything about it. And as well as it sets up your features, abilities, and spells. So, with classes and subclasses, I need you to go ahead and type, it'll be 5e tools. You don't have to type anything, it'll just be at the top. Go ahead and open Importer.
Hold on, there's new 2024 rules for Battlemaster?
Yeah. Yep. And go ahead and find the Sorcerer and the Storm Sorcery. And you're going to go ahead and check it off and import. Now, with the customs, and you're going to choose level 1, because we're going to start as level 1. No, don't choose everything. no, But yeah, this allows you to super easily, step by step, take you what you want inside of your character, such as proficiencies and stuff, and get it all set up and created and ready to go. It's going to take you step by step on choosing what you want to add and stuff like that. So go ahead and fill that out as you would like, and just kind of go through the steps. You can do the same with spells. So if you want to just import a spell, like say Fireball, right? Let's say you want to import Fireball. If you import the spell, it's going to automatically set up the damage for you, the text for you, the image for you, the save for you, the attack. It's going to automatically add that. I highly recommend, whenever you're doing anything with spells, items, features, abilities, to Plutonium import it. This is a key feature that is going to make your life more than infinitely easy. Now, that being said, custom stuff, like if I give you custom weapons or spells, you'll have to modify that yourself and create it. I have to go for just a little bit to bring in some groceries. I will go ahead and let you guys kind of get caught up of what you're going to add and implement, and I will be right back.
Yes, this is where the fun begins.
Now we can select all the features he doesn't want us to select.
Oh no. Gonna get dragged
Quick,
out.
someone draw stuff on the map.
Draw it in like the very corner where he's not gonna look at it until like one session in, or like no, a few sessions in, he finally notices it mid-session and just completely derails the whole bit. I speak from personal experience.
Yeah, just write down his home address down there. He'll be really shocked.
I got a thing because, oh goodness, I got a thing because I'm also getting stuff from my race and the background. Oh goodness,
It's all really neat. The other thing was just like pick stuff from a list. This one's just sort of like, here you go, here's a character creator.
Okay, what if I go background? Now, hang on a second, I just looked at backgrounds and I was looking for soldier and I couldn't... Why is it not here? Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, that tracks. That is not what I...
Man, there's so many options.
Alrighty, folks, I am back.
Hi.
Everyone understanding the massive amount of information?
I'm trying to go through my backgrounds first so I can get all of the side skills out of the way before I actually pick my class. And I'm seeing two different versions of the soldier. One that has salvage attacker and the Baldur's Gate soldier that has the military rank feature.
Oh, that's one thing. That's a good point. So backgrounds, 2024 5e goes ahead and gives you feats. We're not doing that since we're doing the alternate system where you gain feats through lore reasons. So if you're choosing a background that offers a feat, note that you don't get that. I forgot that that was how it works now in 2024 edition.
So, okay. So then, let's say for a okay, so that checks out with the the soldier background in here. But what about the Baldur's Gate one, where you have a background feature military rank, which I've shown you already? How does that work?
I don't
still just a
particularly
logo?
care. If you want to show me in my DMs, I can verify it for you. But I'm sure it's fine.
Hold on.
see. Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, you're looking at it because it gives you skill proficiencies of athletic, intimidation, one gaming set, vehicle land, etc., right?
Yeah.
That's fine.
But it's mainly, I believe the background feature also adds a good portion of flavor to your character.
Oh, so little feats like that is fine. It's just like in 2024 5e, they straight up says gives you like the alert feat, for example, and that's the type of stuff that I'm not allowing. But those little flavor type things is absolutely okay. If you guys have any questions, feel free to just send it over and I'll go ahead and look at it.
All right then. Dragon chest, dice, or 3 dragon ante.
I hope you can see why I put this off until later, because there's a lot here and a lot to learn and a lot to click through and read. And that's why I wanted to get all the text portion out of the way. So once it says it's done importing your class, that's it for that level.
Okay.
And then you can go on to backgrounds. So I believe the step-by-step class will ask you what spells that you want to select. So you don't need to go through the spell importer,
Okay, roll 20. Okay, yeah, now I can... I'm having a lot of trouble finding information on 2024 Battlemaster, and that's because it's part of a book that I don't have.
Oh, let me go ahead and give you a link to it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm trying to figure out if the maneuver stuff, the DC for that, it works off either wisdom or intelligence.
Here you go, providing the link. This site is also phenomenal. Shh, don't tell anybody. Teehee.
You're putting us on... May I remind you, you're putting us on YouTube.
Nah, it's fine. I don't care. What I really love about 5e 2024 is the weapon masteries. It actually makes weapons a little bit more flavorful, such as like the nick or graze type attribute I really like, or the push. And also remember, during character creation, when you're doing your ability scores, depending what your intelligence is depends on either the bonus or detriment of how many skills you have. For example, having intelligence score of 8, which means you have a -1 to your intelligence, means that you have 1 less proficiency of any type that you choose. Whether being a language, a tool, or a skill proficiency, you lose it. But conversely, if you have a plus, then you can gain proficiencies in language or a tool or a skill. You can combine 3 of these intelligence-based bonuses to actually start with an expertise skill. So, for example, if you have an intelligence score of 16, you can make, for example, Arcana expertise right from the get-go, which forgoes the other 2 points because you're combining them. And that costs 3 points to do.
Oh, goodness. Okay, Right, question. We're using standard array, right?
We are using point buy. Let me go ahead and provide a website for you that I personally love doing. It's called Chicken Dinner. So here's the website in order to do your point buy calculations. Now, just for the rules, which is default, available points is 27. Maximum purchasable attributes before any bonuses is 15. And the minimal purchase attribute before bonuses is 8. And you can also select your race to be a custom race and fill out the racial attribute bonus there in order to help you. No, do. I see we have a menace over here.
You caught me.
And just as a heads up for everybody, I will be taking a look at your character sheet before we begin in order to make sure things are verified and valid and, not cheated, of course.
At least for me, you don't have to have that worry. It's just more so whether I screwed up and am accidentally nerfing myself more than I need to.
Yeah. In terms of characteristics and personality traits, you can leave that blank for now and fill it out later. If you don't really want to fill that out right now. When you're getting your background import. Now, in order to modify your sheet, if we can take a look at Dew's screen again, I will teach you how to change your sheet. Because you might have been clicking on stuff and you're like, why isn't this changing? Like your health, for example, or your AC. AC will be calculated by armor, so if you have an item like studded leather armor, you can click equip and it will automatically change your AC to that. However, you can also do it manually, so at the top left there's a little wrench icon. If Dew, you could click that. This will allow you to modify basically anything that you want. So you can go ahead and change your armor, because it changes to a cogwheel. And typically it's from equipped armor. Sometimes there will be bonuses, so we typically do equipped armor, and then for formula, I will go ahead and change that to be like a +1, for example, for that. But you can also change out your initiative if there's a modifier for that, your fly speed if there's a modifier for that, and your skill proficiencies and etc.
So it was, what's his strength? +1. Okay.
And this is also where you input your XP, by the way. Is with the edit button turned on and then just adding. Once you're done to the point of kind of do is, which is where you've inputted your class as well as your race and background, I would recommend doing your ability scores and setting it up. It's interesting how we have basically 2 AC boys in this game, so that's going to be a lot of fun for me to work around both characters.
Only 2?
Are you going AC too?
I plan to stack decks.
Yeah, I see.
Get ready to roll saving throws, everybody!
Yeah.
Woo!
Damn it. Both the Griffins are going heavy armor in armor.
Yeah.
What a menace.
One's an artificer that is the armor subclass, so it's not just AC, but it's also like putting runes and special effects on it. So, yippee!
What's the Pegasi doing? She's the fast one.
Yep, I got Dex. I also went for shield training. I have the shield
Jesus.
spell.
Oh no.
I'm also gonna probably stay out of the range of anything that tries to whack me. So
Right.
Congratulations on making all of your cool characters, everybody, where you stay out of melee range or have AC. All of your enemies now have magic missile.
that's okay. I have shield. Shield negates magic missile.
True.
Okay. How do I edit the stats once I have my, like...
Click the little
Stats.
wrench icon and then go to your stats screen,
Oh,
and then
wrench.
there will be a little cog. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Anything that you can edit with it with the wrench on will turn into a cog, and that's where you can modify numbers and such.
Constitution.
And then once you got your ability scores all planned out, I do recommend changing the cogwheels, and then we can kind of modify from there.
Looks good.
Also, for backgrounds, if they don't necessarily make sense with your character, but you like what they offer, like for example, let's say soldier, you like the soldier aspect, but you kind of don't like the feats, and it doesn't really mesh well with your character because it's more of a noble person, we can go ahead and kind of homebrew a custom background for you, taking various things from like the soldier and then noblifying it. So feel free to just grab any type of background that you like, and don't really worry about the flavor of it because we can change that. I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, it's fine.
I guess I can go over some skills that we're going to be commonly using. Arcana, History, Insight, Persuasion, Deception, if you guys go that route, of course. Perception is, of course, one of the biggest ones in every campaign. And some of the less common ones that we'll not really be using too much are things like survival won't be used too much. It may in some of the DM Vinny adventures, but as a general, it's not going to be used too much.
I want to cook food.
It's
As an
survival.
aside.
Yeah, hey, if you want to. So, I can actually go ahead and offer a little thing. So, in my game, especially in Batavia, food is a little bit special. It allows you to add mystical effects to yourself, and as well as temporary hit points. And depending on the foods, like making a full course meal in every regard, these effects can stack. So for example, you have an appetizer, a main course meal, and then a dessert. All of these effects will stack. So if you do want to make a survival-based character, I can tell you that if you want to cook, you're going to be swimming in the amount of buffs that you can give everybody.
I did kind of want to look into something like that, I'll be honest.
Yep, certainly one sort of avenue. Now, of course, this depends on the ingredients and time that you have in order to prepare things, but as a general, if you do prepare your adventures like this, you would have access to it. And it also may award you for doing these type of roleplay actions with inspiration. Anything that goes ahead and you dump a lot of flavor and information about, like how you exactly make up a food, flavor it, and so on, and how you prepare it, may resort to an inspiration point from time to time. Not every time, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it'll go ahead and give you an inspiration. So with Pegasus, the racial bonus for it is Dexterity +2, Charisma +1.
Yeah, I was just adding in the background of Charlatan
I see.
for +1 Dex, +2 Charisma.
Do backgrounds give you ability scores?
Yeah,
Can you
at least in the 2024.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yes. I haven't thought that one through. It's not something I anticipated.
We've already broken the game, guys.
Oh no, everything's going wrong.
Oh.
We haven't even rolled any dice yet, and we're getting the DM an aneurysm. Well done, boys.
Yeah.
Woo, speedrun!
Oh boy. I'm going to say for backgrounds, since I said no about the feats for 2024 edition, I'm going to also say no about the ability score improvements. Just because we're doing the hybrid thing of both. That being said, also throughout the game, you will be able to increase your ability scores without having, needing to level up to do so. Just because this whole balancing aspect and reason, I'm gonna say no for the 2024 backgrounds and the special things.
I also wanted the skilled feat too.
Yeah.
I can see why you're hesitant here.
Like I said, everyone's gonna become powerful, and there's a thing, if you look through the process of creation, that allows you to basically edit your genes. So adding yet another layer of giving you ability scores is too much.
You mean I can't start with 20 decks? What the heck, DM?
Man, 5e 2024 backgrounds is busted as fuck. Jesus. It gives you feats, it gives you a bunch of skills, it gives you ability scores. What the hell?
It gives you equipment or gold.
Yeah, and like so many proficiencies with either tools, skills, vehicles, etc., languages. Good God.
Ooh, okay. Hey, Bat.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this now, and I'm thinking this actually looks quite juicy when compared to military rank, that feature.
Okay.
I want to know what you think. I'm only going to choose one or the other. I don't want to take both of these. I'm going to choose one or the other, and I want your opinion on which of them you think would be better.
Sure. And is this comparing to the previous one?
Yeah, it's comparing to military rank.
Okay. I will allow you to choose either one that you want. I don't mind either.
Oh boy, okay.
And considering the background that you and I are kind of creating and coming up with, the second one that you have sent may be pretty lorefully accurate since you're kind of dabbling in both sides.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. That's why it kind of stuck out to me.
Now, when we do our one-on-one session next time, it will be a moment of we're going to go ahead and do a one-on-one where I kind of teach you how to move around the map, attack with it, and I'm going to give you a much more in-depth version of how to mechanically use Foundry. That way, on a private note, one-on-one style, we can take as much time as we want in order to, help you out and figure out things.
Yeah, I've played 5e on Roll20 all these years. I've rarely... Again, this is just a result of me not playing many games as a player. I'm not used to other tabletop browsers like this.
Yep. And that's no problem. It seems like Dew has some experience with it, right? You seem to be navigating it through pretty swimmingly.
A little bit. It looks a bit different from how I'm used to, but that's just probably because of the different campaign settings.
Yeah. And Epsilon, I know, hasn't used it at all as well.
Correct. Yeah, I have no experience with Foundry. I have with Roll20, but I think with how things are kind of going, Roll20 is clunky compared to this. There's just not as much customizability, so yeah, it's refreshing to have this kind of features involved.
Let me go ahead and give you kind of a slice of the background component and mechanical work. I've spent a lot of time in order to make sure everything works. So if you go to the top right of the entire chat box on the right screen, it'll say game settings, and if you click on that, there will be a thing that says view modules, and every single one of that, which is 189, which you can read at the top, is a mod that is currently being played. Meaning there's 189 mods from the community that I have implemented in this game. And if you click on view active modules, you'll be able to read about every single one that you would like. So, yeah. It's been a bitch, not gonna lie. Getting everything to work has been nightmarish. And especially when you're updating the system, everything breaks. And I've had to restart several times because either old and outdated things or just otherwise. There's a lot of cool features here, and I can't wait to show you them. I wouldn't spoil yourself by actually looking through and what each one does, and we'll kind of just, experience it more naturally so I can surprise you with some of the things that can happen. But Foundry is literally limitless in how you want to go about it. It's the best system out there. There isn't competition. D&D Beyond, ass. Roll20, ass. Foundry is the only thing that's good.
Yeah, for the most part, I'd agree, Like, Foundry is very modular and sort of easy to work with for players. There's some things where it's like, oh, that's kind of weird, but you'll get used to it.
With me, I've gotten so used to Roll20 that, again, this is alien to me. I've gotten so used to Roll20 being able to handle it, but I will admit that when they released the new updated version with Jump Gate, I was thrown through a loop, and I'm like, oh goodness, what am I going on with? What's going on here? Old man with the iPhone again!
I'm gonna go ahead and paste you guys what my side toolbar looks like. Just note that some of these tabs and categories offload and block out a lot of my screen. But this is just the token selection category if you look at the image. It's not including any of the left categories.
Oh goodness.
Holy moly. Oh dear.
That is quite the options. I like the crab.
The crab is something unique. I can't wait to show you guys, but it's going to be a little bit until you get to see the crab feature. But I guarantee
the giant enemy crab feature.
You guys are going to see it, and you're going to be like, holy fuck, this is cool.
Crab.
Crab people.
Okay. Oh goodness, what do I want to get? I'm torn here between these skills.
There's also one other thing that I would like to touch upon is called journals. I have went ahead and offered some of the things that are unique to you, as well as just everybody can see them. It's a little tab at the top right that is labeled journals, and it looks like a dragon. The icon's tiny, I don't really know. But you can kind of flick through there and read some information. Like, for example, the quick reference allows you to just quickly reference some things that I'm doing, or there's homebrew rules, etc. And travel notes. Travel notes is kind of one of the important things, but that's later on in the campaign.
Ooh, we have Batavian currency. Exciting.
Yeah.
One British Petroleum. Huh.
Jesus. No, a Batavian piece is a replacement of Electrum. I thought about making it its own unique type currency, but then the math was just horrible on it, and I was like, nah, it's too complicated. I'll just replace Electrum.
Damn it! I thought
These exchange rates are ridiculous.
Basically.
Damn it!
Yeah, where's my
from a moment I thought Bris Oil came back.
Ready to go to Tesco.
I'll have you know, Tesco is damn fine, and I. No, it is. 10 points off your Tesco club card.
No, my Tesco card.
I actually have a Tesco club card, by the way.
Every Londoner does. Every UKer does.
I'm not a Londoner. Okay, I am UKer, but I'm not a Londoner. Screw you. Stereotyped. I'm being marginalised.
Dude, oh my god. The dude for his flaw for characters is not a big fan of Tesco. Tesco is a great place, though. You basically get
Never been there.
Yeah, I know, right? Why pay why pay to go watch WWE wrestling match when you just go to Tesco?
I thought that was Waffle House.
That's us in America.
Yeah, that's America. Over here. I mean, you can also.
Oh, so Tesco is the Waffle House of America, or of Britain.
Think of it kind of like a Walmart.
Strangle.
Walmart is such a disgrace to the Tesco name.
I will slap you with a loaf of Hovis 50/50 best of both worlds bread.
No.
I'll have to block with my Wonder Bread.
Okay.
Where it's a wonder, it's bread.
I gotta get back on the pain.
So, after you guys set up your characters, that's kind of everything that I wanted to do. However, we can go ahead and do some chat commands just so you're familiar. It'll take 5 seconds. Basically, on the right, you can choose your language of what you should know. And then you can go ahead and click the button above to do public role, private GM role, or blind GM role. There are some things that I will make you guys roll that will be blind, and let me go ahead and pull that up. I've already listed it in the document that was part of the post, but it will be good to review it.
Like.
And also, I installed a mod that allows you to be able to upload pictures, I think. So, for example, if I do this, what would be a good picture?
So we can just post anything from like Imgur or whatever?
Yeah. I believe you're also to be able to control V it as well. Hopefully this works. I haven't tested it out since I installed it for other people. Yeah, there we go. But back to what I was saying, let me go ahead and pull up that document. So I will go over some homebrew rules. There are some banned content. Banned magic is silvery barbs and healing spirit. Banned feat is lucky. Banned class is mystic. Banned alignment is chaotic evil. There's also, you can view all these in the journal, by the way, which is part of the homebrew rules section folder. And there is Final Stand. If damage reduces you to exactly 0 HP, you enter Final Stand. You can immediately only take one of either an attack action or movement action. At the end of turn, you take 1 damage and begin make death saving throws. You cannot run, burrow, or fly. You also, when you are down, death saving throws must be rolled privately to me. If accidentally rolled publicly, the result is discarded and re-rolled in private. So if you go down, you're blind rolling your roll for your death save to me. This is to increase some tension, because you don't know if they're succeeding or failing, including the person that's dying. There's also assisted death saves, where another player can use an action to roll a medicine check. On a 9 or lower, it adds 1 death fail. On a 10 or higher, it's 1 death success. I will try my best when you say, hey, how do they look in terms of combat, to do what's called bloodied and mortally wounded. Bloodied is a condition where a creature below half HP will be described as bloody when asked, where mortally wounded will be a creature near death. Everybody familiar with the exhaustion system?
You get up to 11, right?
Yes.
You did send it to me a while ago.
And it's like a -1 on all D20 rolls?
Yes. Let me go ahead. It's part of the journal already, but there's a table that tells you exactly what it is. What's really cool though is that when you go unconscious, you add 1 exhaustion. I really don't like it because I do this quite a lot in regular games where you fall down because you're dying and then somebody healing words you for like 2 HP. Congrats, you're fully back up, you're ready to go. No, in this game, when you go unconscious, you add 1 exhaustion to your level. Now, if you roll a natural 20 on a death saving roll, you have -3 exhaustion. That means it will reduce your exhaustion by 3 levels when you make a natural 20 on a death saving throw. Recovery, long rest is -1 exhaustion. Also, you can use exhaustion mechanic to reroll any roll, but you must accept the new roll. So you can take yourself from level 0 exhaustion to level 1 exhaustion if you really want to reroll something. Another cool rule is healing potions. It is a bonus action to use on yourself, an action to use on others. However, if you use an action where you drink it yourself, you receive the max possible healing of the magical potion. There is no rolling required for it. Everybody understand that one? It's a big one.
Yeah.
All right. We're also using the alternative attunement. You can max 3 items attuned at once. You cannot attune to duplicate of the same item. And it's an action to attune and 10 minutes to end attunement. Spell scrolls are usable by any class. Magic creation is more for do, atypically, kinda, but also for our artificer Epsilon here. Where you can change damage type of a spell to basic elements like fire to cold, but not to like radiant or necrotic. The change is permanent, by the way. You cannot change it back. You can also change the functionality of the spell in a small way. For example, the spell jump, you can instead allow you to do a double jump. There's also RP magic as well. So if you do some minor RP use, like inspection via mirror image, it is free to cast the spell. It does not consume a spell slot. If you do a major RP use of a spell, illusions that interact with things, a spell slot is required. Now that's for more bigger things, like say for example, if you're running around the castle trying to be sneaky and need to pull a lever, it's going to consume a spell slot. But if you're using your illusions in order to like have a butler that will go ahead and serve you and the guests, that does not cost a spell slot. Any questions about that? Okay.
No, I'm probably gonna learn all this when the rubber hits the road.
It's understandable.
Don't worry, I'm going to change every single spell and it will not be confusing whatsoever.
Fireball is not poison.
Yes.
So there's also a new mechanic called the Unchained Weave. You may cast multiple leveled spells in a turn if you have the resources to do so, like spell slots. But it incurs 1 exhaustion. However, sorcerers that are using the Quicken spell do not gain exhaustion. Meaning that you can cast, let's say, Healing Word and Call Lightning on the same exact turn. This is an action and bonus action, and you would suffer 1 exhaustion in order to do so. This allows more flexible things for an appropriate penalty of having 1 exhaustion. Another example is using haste and Spirit Guardians, for example.
Now, this would not allow us to chain fire 5 fireballs in a turn, assuming we had the resources.
So,
I want to know at that point, that's not fireball, that's the Oppenheimer special.
Yeah, that's called the book with the glyph of wardings all over it.
So,
On every page.
It's chained for your protection. Don't open it.
I will say this. If you are hasted and have the extra action in order to cast another fireball, you can cast multiple fireballs in a turn. However, you suffer, of course, a level of exhaustion for every additional fireball.
AC 130 above.
I'm casting Magic Missile, but I'm up casting Magic Missile. That's not a missile you're holding. You're right.
One important rule about this game is the rule of flanking. There is no flanking in the game.
What? That's all about my character.
It completely breaks combat. It 100% breaks combat. It makes it too easy for you guys, and makes it too easy for me to kill each one of you.
Yeah, I do have to agree with this. It's probably for the best of everyone. I have had people in my games ask me about flanking, even though it's a majority gun game, and I'm like, really? Okay, sure. You've managed to shoot him without incurring, the cover penalty because he's behind something. Now, but you're also asking me for advantage? Get a life.
What's really interesting about this game is that I've changed to weapon fighting, like holding two short swords. You actually strike with both weapons as part of your attack action. Offhand attack still doesn't add an ability modifier unless you have the appropriate feat. Meaning, instead of using an action and a bonus action to attack with your offhand, instead your action attacks with both weapons at once. The reason for this is to keep up with the damage scaling of how larger weapons go. And plus, it allows you to be more flexible and more unique than, okay, this turn I use my action and bonus action to attack with main and offhand. Okay, next turn I attack with my main and offhand. It's just not as interesting. So, more flexibility is always good.
So you're saying that if I'm hasted, I can do a Victor Saltspire build where I just have dual flintlocks and switch to another set of flintlocks and fire them all in the same turn? Awesome.
If you had the ability to draw both weapons, which is a feat, yes. For now, you would be able to shoot both flintlocks and then pull out a gun and shoot it as well. So 3 instead of 4.
That's the Edward Kenway build. That's not Saltspire.
Well, whatever.
Can we all just become pirates with a bunch of pistols?
No, because I'd smack someone with them.
I mean, that is a valid use of a pistol.
Now, there is one type of PvP that I do allow, which is an insight versus deception type scenario. A lot more information can be found inside the journal, but just know that it's more roleplay outcome is up to the defending player rather than the GM or the winner player. So for example, if I inquire, let's say, for example, I'm Dew and I'm inquiring about Epsilon and how he makes his firearm and who possibly gave him that firearm. And he doesn't want to tell me at all, because it's Menelidil's secret. If I rolled like a 19 on my roll, and I succeed the DC check, Epsilon could go ahead and lie about it, and you would know that it's not the truth. He determines on what to say. You will be able to know whether it's truthful or not, but I'm not forcing him to give up information like that. So, I have also changed the help action in this game. Help action, you can only help if you are proficient in the relevant skill. I will try to say the NPC begins casting a spell, and this is your chance to use counterspell, but this is kind of a loose rule. I'll probably send out in chat like the enemy is sending out a fireball, and then you can use counterspell. There's also a new action that you can do within your turns called Hold Turn. So you can hold your turn, but your initiative shifts to the last for the remainder of combat. So instead of like going first, you can choose to go dead last always. Rolling.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Can we, or are there, are surprise rounds allowed, or do they happen? Either for or against us.
Surprise rounds do happen. Ambushes are a thing, and how it basically works is that all players get to go first? It's a good question. Thank you for bringing it up. So, the way that surprise rounds work is that all the players get to go first. They will have advantage. The enemy will go last, and they will have disadvantage on any attacks that they do. But for example, if, a spellcaster goes ahead and throws a fireball at you, you would have advantage on the saving throw for it, for that ambush surprise round. It's a little bit different. I'm glad you brought it up, but yeah. Any questions on that? Okay. So rolling rules. History, insight, investigation, illusion, disbelief, trap, searching, religion. Like you're trying to insight check a person you believe is lying, you will blind roll to me. That way I can lie to you if you fail. Public rolls, I'm always going to make all of my combat rolls public. All damage, all saves, all attack rolls. I don't like it when GMs hide their dice, but I do understand why. I don't like it, because sometimes I feel like they're fudging the dice, because I'm more of a let the dice roll as they roll, but yeah. Just know that I will do all of this above table. Now, for each and every single one of you, congrats, you get your first feat. You all have the 2015 Grappler feats by default.
Excuse me?
Correct, because it's the way that it should work. I find it stupid that you can grapple somebody and you don't have advantage against attacking that person, and the person doesn't have disadvantage attacking anybody. So in order to mitigate this, there's a feat called Grappler that does exactly this, where somebody grapples them, congrats, you now have advantage against them, and the opponent has disadvantage on attacking because they're grappled. This feat allows that to happen, so I'm just giving it to everybody because that makes way more sense.
Right, let's see.
So 2015 Grappler, very important distinction, not 2024.
Not 2024.
Correct, 2015.
Okay, where do I put that in?
So you can use plutonium imports in order to open up Grappler. And then if you go to filter at the top left of the imports feat screen, click on the filter button, top left.
Yeah,
And then there should be a 2014, yeah, just go ahead and search for it. Yeah, there it is. It says it's... no, red means banned. Blue means searched with.
For me, it is appearing, but only the 2024 version.
Could you click on the reprinted tag at the top? There's a tag that's orange right next to Xanathar's Guide to Everything. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. So if you disable the reprinted thing, which is just clicking it and it disables it, the 2014 feats will appear.
Bingo, okay.
So
I will make good use of this with my 8 strength.
Yeah, don't worry about the strength of credit for...
I know. I'm more meaning
you're gonna like lock Nightmare Moon in a chokehold or Daybreaker when you're sparring her.
Damn, I got a 20. I don't know what to do now. I didn't expect to get this far. Pile driver? Can I go for a pile driver here?
Absolutely. Try to pile drive the god.
I'd like to suplex the train.
None of you that I'm aware of is a rogue, but reliable talent at level 11 has changed. Any ability check with proficiency treats rolls of 4 or lower as 5, and if you're expertise, any 9 or lower as 10. Reliable talents in of itself is completely a broken skill. and I will fight anybody on this because it just basically turns anything that they're proficient in into an automatic success. But this, I kind of lowered it, unless you're expertise in the skill, of course. Rangers, even though none of you are Rangers as I'm aware of, can choose the 5e or 5.5, which is 2024, version of the base class. Now, all these talks about rules and everything like that, there is a mechanic in this game called something lost, something gained. It's courtesy of XP to level 3. You may attempt actions that break the rules at a severe price. I'll state the cost. You may accept or decline the offer. For example, let's say you are at death savings door, right? And you're about to probably fail your last roll. You want to go ahead and do something lost, something gained. Meaning, like, you want to go ahead and take the enemy with you and fall off a cliff, for example. I will allow you to do this, but you will receive probably a permanent injury or at least a long-lasting injury. I know what I said at the beginning, that I don't want permanent injuries, but that's for TPK and not your choice. I'll state the cost of this scenario, and you get to determine whether or not it is worth it to you. So, if there's something in the game that you want, there is a chance that you can break the rules and do it.
Alright, good to know.
And that kind of wraps up every homebrew rule that wasn't already stated.
Lovely. I did want to quickly ask about, do we have any kind of starting money?
Starting money is determined by the background initially, and then anything afterwards, which is part of our duet session, I will be more than likely giving you some money on the road. So, yes, I will be giving you money, but it will be happening naturally during our duet.
Yeah. Because I want to start out my character with a mace. I have a flail here, but,
If you want to start with a mace, just go ahead and start with a mace.
I mean,
That's fine.
okay. I'm looking at the flail here, I'm like, is that basically the same thing as a mace?
Now, I will say this for everybody here. I'm letting you create your character and stuff. However, remember that this world, in order to be a D&D class, you have to go through Batavia's genome editing. So you're not actually this class until you're at Batavia, meaning any equipment that you receive is at Batavia. So mace, shield, armor, all of that is gained in Batavia, not during our duets.
Right.
So that's the part where I want to be a monk.
I was going to ask, okay, apparently the flail here has a thing where if I hit a creature, it will have disadvantage on the next attack roll at the start of my next turn. That's kind of what it says here. I'm thinking, like, do I want to reflavor this into a mace, or does a mace offer a different benefit?
It'll offer a different mastery, I believe.
Right, so what would that be? Right, I have to actually use the damn items. Wait, where do I find a mace?
If you go to 5e...
If you go into...
Here, I'll go ahead and just give you the list of everything in the world. I'll give everybody this site. This site is phenomenal. Use it for everything.
You could also go into the importer and go into items.
That too.
And just search for a mace.
Thank you.
So a mace has the mastery of sap. And the flail has a mastery of sap as well, so they're the exact same. I'm not sure where you're seeing this advantage, disadvantage thing.
Okay, if you look at my sheet and then hover the mouse over the flail, it'll say mastery, sap. If you hit a creature with this weapon, that creature has disadvantage on its next attack roll before the start of your next turn.
Oh, yeah, you are correct.
Okay, so I'm not schizo.
You're not a schizo. Let me make sure. I'm sure mastery is given to fighters probably innately, right?
Yeah.
Because you actually have to earn mastery for a lot of these classes, but I'm positive fighter just gets it.
Ooh, flail is a D8, while the mace is a D6.
So yeah, level 1 fighter states that you can use the mastery properties of 3 kinds of simple or martial weapons of your choice. You may, during a long rest, change one of these weapon choices. So you can choose to be a flail master or a mace master, but remember that it's only 3 weapons of your choice. Weapon types, I should say.
Who here said that, like, how much damage?
Flail is a D8 bludgeoning, and I think mace is a D6. It's also a simple weapon instead of martial.
Right, okay.
Yeah, technically flail is just literally better.
We could just say it's flavoring.
Yeah, reflavor.
Like you have the stats of a flail, but it's but your character is visually using a mace.
They have the same exact properties of everything else, so I'm fine with that.
Lovely.
Gosh, I can't wait for you guys to be in Batavia, and then I'm gonna do something really mean, and you guys are gonna be like, what the fuck?
Well, I can't wait to be there either. So when we go into spells, are we just using 5e tools, or is there other stuff that we can
Just
select
5e
on this
tools.
list?
That's the only thing that you need to select. The only time when you choose a different data source is for races, for my diverse equestrian races. Everything else is just 5e tools, which is automatically checked.
Okay, so just normal spells from Player's Handbook.
Yeah. And Reprinted allows you to enable 2014 versions, but I recommend using just the 2024 variants if they have it. We'll go on a case-by-case basis if you ever want to do a 2014 spell versus a 2024 spell.
Ooh, graze.
Oh, on the greatsword or whatever?
Yeah, the great sword.
Yeah, that one's really nice, especially if you do like poisons and stuff.
I really loved the mastery system that 2024 added. I commented on it before, but like, man, it's just so good.
It just adds something to the martials that they really need.
Yep, exactly. I'm curious about your guys' stats. How many of you are nerds now that I added the proficiency thing?
Not me.
I'll be honest, that's the difference between being a +1 int and being a +1 wisdom.
Fair enough. Let's see.
I don't know much. You know, I'm starting the thing.
Also,
Is that it?
a bit of disclaimer at the beginning. I really should have said this earlier since some people have feelings about this, but the use of AI images will be in this game. This is just because there's not always material available for a exact depiction that I want to give you guys. So
Yeah, I
in these
noticed that
cases for
earlier
like
on.
sceneries or some character arts, there will be AI images.
Yeah, I noticed that earlier on, but I didn't comment on it.
Yeah, and if you have any concern or questions about anything, even this, feel free to ask. I'm a completely open book. You can ask me about anything, and I will answer honestly, because it's just kind of a person that I am. I like to keep people above board and know what they should know.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I won't mind so long as you don't try like making merch out of it or something.
No, I won't ever make merch.
I mean, you can, but you know, I'd have some issues if you started using AI for the merch.
Being turned into a marketable plushie, hell.
No, I'd buy my plush. No silvery barbs, or
Yeah.
was that mind sliver?
No silvery barbs. Silvery barbs is the most broken spell there could be, and it's a fucking cantrip. Or first level spell, I mean.
Question, javelins, do they use dex or strength? Or could they
It
use both?
depends how you use it. If you're... do they have the finesse property innately?
Not that I can see, it just says
If you-
flow.
So yeah, so it's innately a strength-based weapon in order to attack it. However, throwing, as rules as written, is using dex. Though, we can work around that with some flavoring. If you want to throw some javelins, I'm saying I'm fine with you using strength.
Yeah. Huh. I've kind of accepted that I might not be able to kit out my character how I want them from the get-go. Ideally, I want a shield. But I know that might be a bit expensive for me right now. I mean, heck, does this thing have like an inbuilt shop?
Okay,
It does.
I have the throne property here. I can post it in chat real quick.
Sure. So, yes, if you go to the top right where the plutonium import is, there's an equipment shop.
Ah, okay.
So you have your own little user face for it.
And that's 10 gold for the shield. Okay.
There you go, I pasted it in chat.
Thank you, dude.
Yes, if it doesn't have finesse, you just use strength. Or if it has finesse, you can use either.
Got it. So a shield and a short sword is going to set me back. Alright, am I able to sell anything? Yeah, starting equipment. Starting equipment. Do we get starting equipment from our classes?
It's from backgrounds. And
Okay,
class
so it's all-
choice as well.
And pardon?
Yes, from backgrounds and classes.
So question. At first level, if I pick Thunderwave, but then my class gives it to me later, would I be able to just select a different spell later on?
Yes, and I believe you also have innately where you can change your spells since you're a sorcerer. So either way, yes.
Okay, I thought that was on level up for sorcerer. I could be wrong.
Let me look into that. Yeah. So it states that changing your prepared spells, whenever you gain a level as a sorcerer, you can replace one spell with another spell. So on level up, yeah, you can change it, no problem.
Yeah, which is why I'm asking, like, because I know my feature at level 3 will give me Thunder Wave, but if I already picked Thunder Wave, would I be able to just change that for free, or is that just part of the level up?
It's part of level up, it'll change. And either way, whether it's mechanically allowed or not, you can change it. I'm fine with that.
Sweet. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. After looking at the short sword, I'm kind of thinking to myself, what I'm going to do is I'm going to forego grabbing a short sword. I'm just going to use the javelin in case I need to stab something, and bludgeoning isn't going to get me very far.
Okay.
But I will admit, though, that a great sword is looking really nice, especially with Grace.
Grazers are really cool. Mastery. No doubt about it. It's whether you want defense or you want offense.
Plus, like I said, poison triggers on any damage from the weapon, including graze.
Right. I'll ask something. How about, how valuable will rations be?
What's that?
Rations.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Food, glorious food.
Yeah. There will be times where we'll go into the damn Vinny and there will be a survival aspect to it. But for the very majority of the game, there will not be any worry about rations.
Got it.
It's a good thing I have a bag of holding filled up with instant ramen.
I'm just going to take a bedroll with me, just in case.
Sorcerer, I need you to cast Stormcloud. I need water for my ramen.
Me too, alright.
Oh my goodness.
Anyone got heat metal for the stove?
Yeah.
This I got a shocking grasp. You'll have to deal with it.
Alright.
I can tell you what I've got. My forehead.
You running a fever or something? Oh yeah, that'll cook just fine.
You know, it's told if you just slap ramen like fast and hard enough, it'll just cook it.
Oh, I heard that works with chicken.
Hey, congrats. He's the first person that got a reference. You gained your very first inspiration point.
Woo! I'm gonna add that to the pile.
Is that like a show reference?
It
or
begins.
something?
It was a meme a while ago, and it was just a literal meme where somebody slapped chicken, and then I believe it just made it into cooked chicken, you know, a little cutaway. But it was a pretty popular meme in the US for a little bit.
They made a whole video on it. It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
They obliterated the chicken before it got cooked, mind you, but...
So whenever you gain a reference, whenever you get a reference inspiration, mark it in your journal under the note category that you got a reference point for understanding the slapping chicken. So if you go to your character sheet, there's a little note section. It's a quill. You can put it in your biography. There might be a better place for it, but I just use the biography for notes, personally. And then just reference. Yeah, there you go. And what I would do is, you see the resources on the left? I would just name it like ref inspiration, and then go ahead and set it to a value of 1. That way, it's a little tracking resource for you that you can expend and quickly look at and adjust.
You think I'm gonna spend these points?
And the candy is like 80 inspiration points. Just blows
Man,
it
I gotta
all
save
on
it for
winning
the final
jackpot.
Let's go gambling.
Oh, dang it.
Oh, dang it. Oh, dang it.
Oh, dang it. Oh, dang it.
You know, I thought this would take an hour. I think we're gonna go our full 3.5 hour game time.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
But that's fine. I'm available all day, so I'm not worried. By the way, if you ever want to change an image for your item or token or portrait, just let me know. I have to manually upload these sorts of things and change it. But however, the token border there, I'm not changing your color. It is specific reference, and I will tell you that reference. No one brought it up, but I'll bring it up.
Oh, I get the reference. I get it all too well.
What's a reference, huh? You can gain your inspiration token if you know what the color of the ring means.
Hold on, freaking. It was like, it was the color of, no, wait. Empire? Oh, look. It's like that thing where I kind of know what it is. I remember it, but... Mother...
You're close to it, dude. You are. You just gotta, like, finish
It's like the color, it's like the color of the... Like the national color or something.
Correct! You go ahead and get an inspiration as well. So
that's what it was. It was national color.
So for your nation, or it is the color of, for the Silene Empire, it is yellow. For the Commonwealth of Menelidil, it is crimson red. For the Selenian Theocracy, it is white for your token border. It is the color of your nation. Now, for your note field, go ahead and say that +1 reference inspiration, token nationality color, something like that. And go ahead and add it as a resource on the left as well.
Frickin', I gotta go find.
It'll be a quill icon for your character. Basically where you put your personality, flaws, bonds, and biography.
Right, so I'm trying to... I know you explained earlier, but I kind of zoned out. Mm-hmm. Where was the inspiration stuff again?
So if you go ahead and go to the character sheet on the right, there will be a quill icon. If you click that, I just type it into biography for journal notes, to be honest. And that's where I go ahead and type in the reference there. And then on the left, there will be a thing called resources, and that's where you can put in your inspiration stacks. And as a reminder, everybody gets 1 inspiration every single session for free, but this doesn't stack.
What does SR and LR mean?
Short rest, long rest. Feature, yeah, if you click that, it'll go ahead and reset it to the maximum count when you do the short rest or long rest. Let me find a different set of music. I'm listening to the same song for like 3 hours. I suppose I should ask this for a future reference. Let me go ahead and pull up a note section for myself. I'll go ahead and start with you, Epsilon. What sort of music do you not like listening to? So I don't include it.
Oh, that's easy. Rap. Rap is very hard to make it tasteful, so that's an easy one.
Is there any others?
No, not in particular.
Anyone that you favor? Or, sorry, any music genres that you favor? Like metal or rock?
Yes. Rock and metal, yeah. It also kind of depends on the theming of it too, but I would probably say dark and atmospheric works pretty well and probably is quite fitting.
Alrighty, how about you, Du?
I'd have to say, rock and metal's pretty good. The harder stuff of metal might not fit real well with a campaign.
Okay.
So I wouldn't really enjoy that in most settings. Like hearing that for an hour during combat would be something. Yeah, I'm fine with most music genres.
Okay. Do you also dislike rap or country or
no? Rap depends on the subject and who's doing it. It varies a lot. And country over time gets kind of boring, but I'll be fine with it if it's in short bursts.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're playing music that's really annoying to me, I'll just let you know.
Fair enough, and you can always just turn off the music for yourself with the
You're right.
I'm going to absolutely try to pick music that you guys may enjoy. When I puke, so what? Let me restate that sentence. Holy smokes! When I pick music for this, I basically score the game, and what I mean by that is that for the scenario that we are in, I will score the music by providing an exact reference of how the tone and atmosphere for the current setting or scene may play out. If we are in a dark and gloomy atmosphere, I am not going to be playing Happy Days music. I'm going to be playing something that's dark and atmospheric.
You're telling me you're denying me the wiggles?
I'm telling you,
in my time of need.
Charlie won't like that, sorry. That's a reference nobody will ever get. But yeah, I would prefer you guys to listen to the music always, because I'm always trying to find music that fits the exact combat encounter situation, etc. But if it's annoying to you, feel free to turn it off. And I'll finally do. Or not do. Not then.
Yes. Okay, so I like rock and metal.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm pretty. As a DM who's had to score for my own campaigns myself, I'm pretty cool with whatever, so long as it's fitting to the tone of the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything that you don't like in particular, or have a preference towards?
Again, I'm pretty good with a lot of genres, so long as it's nothing degrading or distracting from the action. I'm pretty good with a lot of stuff. I listen to video game music all the time. I will reach into some obscure corners of the internet if it means getting appropriate music for my games.
Okay.
So I'm okay with whatever you throw at me. As for preference, I'm also pretty loose. I find that I tend to listen to just whatever fits me at the moment.
Okay. Cool. Seems like you guys are pretty well aligned with myself and pretty easy.
Yeah. Hey, question about while I have your attention.
Yeah.
How do griffins normally get? I need to write in my stuff.
So reference inspiration gives you +1, and these are stacking.
I meant how pull, physically. As a race, my racials.
Sorry, let me disable this music. I had two songs playing because I was trying to pick the next song. Very much apologies. Could you repeat that again?
How tall do griffins normally get?
Oh. So, if you go... this might be complicated. But if you go to the Plutonium Importer and go to Species and Griffin, it offers you a table of the species' atypical weight, how long they live, as well as how tall they can be.
Got it. Let's see.
So, for example...
Yeah, I see that.
I'll just go ahead and paste this in chat for griffins.
Question: if I type this message in the chat, can any of you others hear it or see it?
Let's see. I see it. Does anybody else see Du's message?
I see it as well.
Okay, I meant to send that as draconic.
Oh boy, I'm Grendel's a heavy boy.
How heavy is Grendel?
Well, let's see. Base weight 100. Wait, it's 1d4 times 180. Is that what I'm looking at, Bat?
Yes. You roll... Griffins are huge, dude. Like, in reality, they're huge.
I get that. I rolled a 3. So, is this 3 times 180, or is this just 30 pounds packed onto 180? Because, oh my goodness, man, dude, I do not want to turn into a freaking deviant art creation.
I understand what you're saying, yeah.
Please don't send me to the deviant art dimension.
That's one chonky boy.
What? So, technically speaking, it is a times. But you don't have to roll to be a 540-pound creature, these things are exact, man. I was able to just put out a 1d4. I couldn't, like, modify it any further.
Fair enough.
Speaking of, I probably have to roll for weight or see what the weight is for Pegasi.
Alright, let's skip the song because it's been forever.
Oh, good. Okay.
No, not pause playback.
Oh.
Hey DM.
I have to vote to
not
skip
sure
the
if-
song. Could someone vote to skip the song, please?
How do we vote to skip?
It's basically this button. I'll screenshot it. It's that button.
Yeah, I did it.
Alright, thank you. Yeah, I love this song too. Oh, no. Okay. Never mind. If there is ever any song that you just don't like, let me know so I can kind of match that tone for any future songs that I choose. There may be times where I also ignore your likes and dislikes of songs.
No, that is not draconic.
Alrighty then. Well, I haven't selected, so I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I tried using the custom languages as well, and that doesn't seem to work. Not to my knowledge.
It only works for me. For some reason.
Bonjour.
Yeah, you can read your comment, but no one else can. So nobody else knows what that says. It should work. It just doesn't work. So what do you guys think of Foundry so far?
I'm gonna admit, I can certainly see the advantages, but oh goodness, this is paid on my roll 20 killed brain. But an animated overmap like this, oh boy, I can certainly see the advantages.
Oh, just wait until you get into actual maps with like actual cover and doorways and stuff. That stuff's real good.
Yeah. How do you guys like the clouds that are floating overhead? Nice ambiance?
That's what I'm gonna say. It's
They're really fast. They're like going several hundred miles an hour.
Let me change it to this.
I'm just saying in comparison with how the size of your world. Oh, excellent. This is just what we needed.
It's a blizzard! Yay!
In the desert?
Yes!
In the desert, dude. Yeah.
I mean, desert invasions always go well.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Now, here's a question. So, for our character sheets, obviously we can see and read everything. We can't look at other people's character sheets, right?
Correct. So if you try to open up someone else's character sheet, I don't think you'll be able to see much.
I can read your biography.
Okay, good. Because I'm like, you know, which parts I can use as basically a master list of importing all of the notes that I have for him. So
I can also create a dedicated journal spot if you don't want to write in your biography, using the journal tab as well. And you may be able to create your own journals as well. I'm not too sure about that. Yeah, it doesn't look like you can create your own journals, but I can create them for you if you ever want your own private notebook. Also, some really cool things about this Forge server. You can hop in whenever you want to mess with, or look through things. You don't have to rely on me in order to open up the server. So, whenever you want, feel free to just look into it. There's so many cool things that you can do. I haven't even begun touching the surface. Let me explain it like this to you. You can attach an animated effect that is pre-created for various things, for say like a fireball, where it will actually, when you cast a spell, ask you to target a specific creature. It will then launch an actual fireball that we all can see well animated, and will go explode into the 20-foot hex radius and light that entire ground on fire before dissipating. You can do that. You can set it up if you want.
it's just going to give me more reasons to use Fireball. Just light everything on fire. Burn it all.
All right, he gets Fireball, I get Lightning Ball. We need another type of ball.
He has the flail, so he just has a ball.
I have the...
That is a ball. There we go.
I have the steel ball!
Yeah, the steel ball.
Does it run?
I can make people run.
I was hoping you'd get the reference.
I didn't get that reference.
Are you talking Indiana Jones?
No, Steel Ball Run from JoJo's.
I don't watch anime.
That's a show I haven't watched yet. I enjoy a great deal of anime.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I'm blanking on the character's name, but it's like part 1/part 2. Yep.
We just hit our thing. I have about an hour or two before bed.
Feel free to dip out whenever you would like. You can always come back to this. Our next session will be on the 17th. And reminder that the 31st, we're not having our session, but I'll put future reminders.
Okay, then. Oh, boy. Do you think my sheet is ready?
I will have to verify it in my own time, but let me look at it as an overall thing. Okay. Yep, you look good. You chose your destiny path, which is one of the biggest ones. Seems we have two of the same destiny. It's a really cool destiny path, isn't it?
Oh, don't tell. Oh, wow. You.
Great minds think alike.
Yo, can I take the Griffin Destiny path too? It sounds really good.
So, to give you reference of what it is, I'll go ahead and screenshot it and send it in chat. That way you're in the loop. They chose I have dubbed it as the Call of Nylea. And you can basically target specific parts of the body and do a specific thing. It's a called shot ability.
Oh, cool. We're playing Fallout.
No, man. We're playing Skyrim with mods. Alright, but I will be popping off now. It was nice getting doing all this with y'all.
Yeah, good talking to you, Led. I'm happy that you showed up, and I'm happy to continue playing with you after.
Same here. Hopefully next time I get to play, I'll get to use Grendel's voice. Who sounds a little drunk.
It's gonna be
All right, it was nice meeting you. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we'll have to see you later.
I'll see you guys in like 2 months. When we get done with all our one-on-ones.
Yeah, basically, I mean, shit. We're not going to see each other for quite a while until we get to Batavia, so it's very likely to be a month or a half or 2 months until we see the group up.
Alright, then. Nice playing with y'all. See you later.
Alrighty, I'll see you in October.
Later. See ya. Yeah, now it's just part of just going back and filling in all the nitty-gritty details.
Yeah, who knew that the fighter would finish first before the artificer or sorcerer?
Right? What? You mean they don't have to pick out a bunch of spells and options and stuff? I'll be honest, if they didn't have weapon masteries, that'd have been like 10 seconds for them.
Yep.
The 2 spells I get to have at level 2 or 1. Decisions.
Sleep is really good early, and you could always change it out later.
It is, and it's even better in 2024, but
Alternatively, Ice Knife is amazing for some AoE help. Witch Bolt is amazing for saving your spell slots. And don't forget, you can drag and drop some of your spells onto your hotbars if you want quick and easy access to cast things like Firebolt, for example. And go ahead and just click on it and it should just pop up like regular and send it to chat. And I suppose also, since Epsilon is new, when you cast a spell and, for example, him, it says 19, you can click on the 19 and then go from there and I believe do your damage from it. So you don't have to go back into your character sheet or type it out manually. It's something to that effect.
It's only just showing the attack roll, I think.
Let's see if I do it like this. I see. So it's the one above. It sends out a little description and it says attack and damage. My bad.
Oh, that's interesting for Sorcerer's Burst because it doesn't do the damage.
If you scroll up, it's right there.
Oh, okay. I just didn't scroll up far enough.
All good. Oh, you did a blind GM roll.
Nice. Hey, a bat.
Yeah.
I believe there is an add-on that'll let you see the dice roll across the screen.
I thought about adding it. I can go ahead and check it out.
Yeah, I just figured I'd mention it because it was something that was really neat with the other campaign that's running on VTT.
Sure. Let me pull it up. I believe it's called Dice and Nice or something like that.
Watch out, he has a gun.
You know, just checking out how things work. Still have to get used to everything and where to click as well. Yeah.
Do you have a -1 to your pistol attack?
Apparently, yes.
Huh.
That's because it's dex-based.
Ooh. So you're gonna bludgeon people with it.
Just take out the bullet and slam it against someone's head.
Oh yeah, that reminds me of like the cursed fire. You just use a hammer to actually fire the bullet. And then you just have a stick that just holds it, so you just...
Yes.
It's almost like a hammer and nail.
We have an Ioka. Decisions, man.
Now, I don't know if this is just because I screw this up or not. as Artificer, I got a whole bunch of level 1 skills that got imported. Is that correct?
Probably. But let me check it.
Because I feel like I should only have a limited list, or that I should only have like 6 available or something like that I know. But haven't played Artificer before, so.
Alright. I downloaded
So how common are
the nice module, so let me go ahead and enable that. Things may break, so.
Sweet. I love it when they break.
Looks like I have to wait until I refresh the page. That's fine. Let me pull up your Artificer. Could you type in chat what your proficiencies are? So
Yeah, let's just start with that.
Oh, yeah, that's coming from Artificer, I believe. Artificer gains weapon proficiencies in simple weapons and firearms. However, because you're a species of griffin, you get basically the elvish weapon stuff, which is longbow, longsword, short sword. So that's where those are coming from. You have some martial proficiency because of your griffin heritage.
Yes. Now, I did have to add that in manually, so keep that in mind that I cross-referenced that and added those all in.
Okay. And were you talking about skill proficiencies as well, or just the weapon proficiencies?
Well, so what I actually wanted to know was the spells, because I know you get access to... I get 2 first-level spell slots, but I have a whole list of first-level spells, and I'm not sure if that's just all of the first-level spells that are available to Artificer, or whether I have to choose between all of them, if that makes sense. Like, you know how Cleric has access to all their spells, but they can only use, a certain number of them. Have them prepared, I should say.
So it looks like it was accidentally clicked that everything would be added. So what you should do is go back through and delete them, and then go to Plutonium Imports and do it manually. It might have been a faulty setting from the import class function. So just go back and delete them and go through the Artificer level up for this section. I'll go ahead and send you the class in DMs. That tells you the how many spells you know and stuff like that.
Cool. All right.
And being able to import absolutely everything is amazing, but not all the time does it work. But generally it does.
So how common are scrolls in this setting?
Common.
Alright. So I'd just be able to buy a bunch of scrolls of mage armor instead of selecting it.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and give you your magic item that is a ring of mage armor. Your finger or hoof now has mage armor, but nothing else.
Oh. Sweet.
Yeah, isn't there like a rod of protection where it's like you can cast mage armor, shield, maybe one other thing, but it had like 8 charges or something ridiculous like that?
Yeah, I think it's like a enspelled weapon or armor or staff. I get 6 casts of shield a day. Free.
Yep. Easy. Easy game.
Why does nothing hit me except spells?
Legendary action, ignore your AC.
Legendary action. I cast Wish.
Yeah. Oh, you have mage armor? That counts as like magical metal, so, heat metal.
I have counterspell, so no you. Silent image? You mean a painting?
That's a good one, I like that. I love Foundry. God, is it so great.
Well, now that I tried importing the Artificer again, it didn't import any spells. Uh-oh.
Yeah, you don't want to import Artificer again, you want to import individual spells.
Ah, gotcha.
Because it's going to cross-reference and check that you already have level 1 Artificer, so it's not going to do it again to duplicate.
Okay, good.
And the reason for that is because when you level up and people import the next level, it's just a simple check. Alrighty, I too am going to go. Feel free to stick around for however long you want. I mean, after all, I stated that this Forge server is always active, so yeah, take your time, guys, and read through everything and click all the buttons.
Okay.
Thank you, Jake.
How do I choose a destiny path before you go?
So what I do is I create a new feature, which is the bottom right plus. And basically, I create it as a new feature to take, like copying the description and stuff.
Thanks.
Alrighty. Thank you, Duke, for showing up, and thank you, Epsilon, as well, even though you're kind of forced into it because you literally are 2 feet away from me. But I hope everyone here is excited for the game. I hope it was a good session 0 for everybody, and I'm excited to get it started with the duets.
Yeah, me too. It'll be neat seeing how that plays out. Thanks for having me, guys. And I guess we'll see you, 2 weeks from now.
Have a good one, dude. See ya.
Yep, see ya.
Catch you guys later.